Statistics.
Good afternoon and welcome to David Gray's Arena in Mandurah. It's the Derby before the Derby, the West Coast Eagles versus Peel Thunder in round 13 of the WAFL season 2018. I'm Tyson Beattie alongside Steve Bandy live on Eagles Media. Wherever you're watching around the world, welcome. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Say good day, send us a hello. Well, what a day for WA footy. In about an hour, the unveiling of the Nicky Winmar statue at Optus Stadium will take place as we begin the start of NAIDOC week. And today, both teams wearing their Indigenous Guernseys. It's great to see. We're having our Welcome to Country proceeding as we speak. And of course, latest today, the RAC Derby 50, the Eagles and Dockers. Last night, the Hawks did us a favour. They knocked off the Pies, giving us a chance to jump into second spot later today. But first, Peel Thunder versus the Waffle Eagles. The side coming off a big victory over flag fancy South Fremantle last week and looking to build on some confidence, while a strong-looking Peel side sitting just inside the five. As I welcome in Steve Thumper Bandy, who thought he might be actually calling Aaron Sandilands in this game.
Was looking forward to the big 7-foot giant taking the field here at David Gray's Arena, but straight into the ones, Tyson Beattie. That was an interesting move by the match committee down at Coburn, but nonetheless, we've got a pretty solid lineup against Peel Thunder today. Looking forward to a quality matchup. The rain has just cleared, which is exciting. Let's hope it remains in this manner for the remainder of the contest.
And of course, on your screen there, you can see the current standings of the WAFL season after, or as we head into round 13 here. Of course, Subiaco reigning premiers, just the one blemish at the top of the ladder. Claremont, South Fremantle, Perth, Peel Thunder right there at 5 and 6, just hanging on by percentage inside the 5. West Perth just behind them. And there we are at 7th place. So looking to build some momentum there, Steve, at 4 and 7. A good chance to get up the standings.
3 on the trot. Very impressive from this West Coast Waffle side. But Tyson Beattie, I don't know if the fans are out there are realising that we're 0 and 4 every time we bring the stream to the fans. So we're not the good luck charm that we once envisaged we would be.
Well, no offence to my mate Tim Gossage, but hopefully I can change that with a call with you today, Steve, as I take you through the sides just quickly as they prepare to break. For the Eagles, number 41 will be Jack Carey today, who's come into the side, a late change into the side. We know Jake Waterman's been in hot form, 20 goals for Jake in the Waffle season so far this year. He sits 7th in those standings. Drew Petrie, Hamish Brayshaw, Brady Gray, Francis Watson, Luke Foley, Chaz Flint, Bailey Williams, Braden Ainsworth, Josh Rotham, Fraser McInnes, Kurt Mutimer, Keegan Brooksby, Matthew Allen, Josh Smith, Brody Riak, Andrew Fisher, Joel Ashman, Liam Robilliard, Mitch Kerno and Nick Reed. That's the side for the Eagles. While for Peel Thunder, it starts with Ben Howlett. What a great player he was in the AFL for a long time. And, of course, the captain of this side. Trey Bennell, Luke Valente, Jackson Merritt, Braden Lawler, Lachlan Schultz, Hayden Ballantyne, Hayden Matthews, Ben Hancock, Bailey Banfield, Hugh Dixon, Blair Bell, Matthew Piggott, Tom North, Ryan Bennell, Dylan O'Reilly, the son of Stephen, will be calling him a little bit today, no doubt. Jason Carter, Taylor Dooman, Sam Sturt, Scott Jones, Ryan Nyhouse and Toby Watson. That's the lineup for the Peel Thunder as we start to get underway, just a couple of seconds away from the first bounce here at David Gray's Arena. Steve Thumper Bandy will get us underway.
Round 13, massive matchups for both sides, looking to cement themselves into the top 5 as the race for the final starts to get to the business end. Umpire waiting for the 6-6 rule to come into effect. They all look set in line as he holds the ball, ready to begin proceedings here. It's going to be Jones up against the first-year Eagle, Bailey Williams. Toss up is a good one, even split. Kick forward by Benny Howlett into the 50 for Peel. Watson puts down a chest mark. Smith at the foot of the ball and West Coast clear out of the back line. The captain, Fraser McInnes, can't take it cleanly. North able to collect for Peel. His ball is smothered. Quick little tap into the arms of Bailey Banfield. Kick forwards marked successfully by Lawler. Goes to the top of the square, one-on-one. Drew Petrie, timely fist from behind, out of position. And the ball will trickle over the boundary line. Right forward pocket for Peel Thunder. Very odd seeing big Drew Petrie in the fullback position, Tyson, but cemented there for the remainder of the waffle season, you'd imagine.
No doubt.
Umpire's going to hurl it back in. Jones with front position. Butters up nicely. He's tackled successfully there from Hamish Brayshaw. And we'll have a ball up. You can see the track looking a little uneasy under deck there, and I don't think rain's going to help things. Williams with the tap. Well sharked there from Banfield. Handball to no one in particular. Bit of a scrappy affair. The umpire will have it.
So extremely boggy in the middle of that centre-half forward position, Thumper.
Jones wins out. Loose footy up for grabs here. Peel are going to take it. A little bit of a fumble there from Schultz. He's claimed by a couple of Eagles. Umpire will claim it once again. West Coast looking quality in their Indigenous Guernseys at the moment. Tyson Beattie for NAIDOC week.
Yep, Scott Jones, who takes this ball straight away, almost holding the ball, doesn't get paid. Mutimer is going to hack it out of there for the Eagles. Up towards Brooksby, tries to take a mark in these difficult conditions. Is not easy at all. The ball gets funneled along towards the wing position now. That's Bennell, who's getting pushed over and dragged it back in. Will this be holding the ball? No. We're going to see some pretty sloppy play this afternoon, no doubt about it. These conditions are extremely difficult, Stephen.
The umpire's going to ask for a bit of space amongst the many midfielders around this stoppage. Banfield, like a bull, goes and collects that one. The blind kick right in the arms of Josh Smith. Been in good form, the ex-Collingwood wingman, collecting a ton of the ball. His driving kick inside the 50. Peel with the numbers, but Waterman provides a good contest. Ball at ground level. No easy disposals today. And the umpire will have to come in and sort this one out.
Can't be too often that Drew Petrie has played fullback in his entire career. I bet he's just loving that at this stage. 37 years old.
All players within the West Coast Eagles half. North collects. Bit of 1-2 with a teammate. Just hacks it out of there to the wing. Williams goes back with the fly, but a tremendous mark from behind is taken by the man in question, Big Drew Petrie, the 332 AFL gamer. A ton of experience, but looking forward to him holding the back line together. Kicks to the pack, inside forward 50, Smith at the crumb of the ball. Picks it up cleanly to Riak. Just thumps it forward, bit of a kick and hope. Here we go, Nick Reid at the foot of the ball. A bit of soccer skills. He's got a bit of space in front of him, little back feed. A chance here for West Coast. Brady Gray, the umpire's called a whistle right at the cusp of a Foley shot on goal.
Oh, he paid advantage there, which was very unlucky because, I mean, the whistle was sort of blown right when he was taking the kick. It probably should have come back for a shot on goal for sure. So the first score of the game goes the Eagles' way, as Dooman is about to bring the ball back into play for Peel Thunder. And he plays on, kicks it towards the outer flank. Big fist coming over from the back by Smith. Picked up on the rung by Brayshaw, takes a shot on goal. Actually, no, it just comes up short, and it's a good mark there. And an opportunity for the first goal of the game for the Eagles. And he's popped it through. Great goal. That's Nick Reid. For the first goal for the West Coast Eagles, it's 1-1-7 West Coast. Peel Thunder yet to score.
Well, a tremendous defensive effort there from Josh Smith, bringing the ball to ground. Able to set up that opportunity for the West Coast Eagles. And Nick Reid, the North Beach amateur, getting a crack at the waffle. He's been in red-hot form.
Very strong-looking player, isn't he, Steve? And he showed in that first passage of play, which ended up at a free kick where the advantage was played and ended up being behind. So 7 points to score, West Coast. Good start for the Eagles. And Peel Thunder yet to score.
11 goals from his previous 5 matches at this level. Nick Reid certainly knows how to find them. Umpire restarts play. Jones goes at it alone. Ainsworth ducks the tackle, sends it forward. Got a tremendous mark on the lead there from Carey. The seas parted and an easy chest mark in the end, and he'll have a shot from about 45 metres out directly in front.
So great centre clearance there by the Eagles, and they seem to be on. They seem to be carrying this over from that Bulldogs game.
Very excited at the sunshine that's just bathed David Gray's arena. Wasn't looking that way about 10 minutes prior when it was bucketing down Tyson Beattie. Nonetheless, Carey's going to wind up, have a ping from 50. Got a bit of hook on that one. That's through for a minus score.
So bringing the ball back into play, Peel Thunder. The mark taken by Tom North. Inside his own 50, looking to bring the ball up the middle of the ground. And the mark taken here by Jason Carter. Plays on to Duman, and Duman goes out to the wing, but that kick is ill-directed. Drew Petrie takes the mark in front of Scott Jones, and it might have been a free kick, in fact, for front-on contact by Jones.
Good play from Peel there. Little kick up the corridor. They got things moving. They had 2 targets to pick from at the half-forward line. Split the middle with big Drew Petrie.
But didn't execute with the kick out wide. So there's a great mark taken there by Keegan Brooksby. Went high and clunked it in these difficult conditions. Now goes deep to full forward, and a chance at the back of the mark is taken by Jake Waterman. And Waterman, this guy, has been playing fantastic footy this season. He's 7th on the Waffle goal-kicking ladder with 20, Stephen.
You have a look at this one. 3 Eagles having a little chook raffle amongst themselves. Either one of them could take it. In the end, Carey and Matty Allen had to succeed to the big man, Jake Waterman, the notable goal kicker for this West Coast Waffle side.
Lovely action as well. Jake Waterman has, no doubt, spent many days in the backyard with Muddy, perfecting this style as he saunters in from 20 metres out, slide angle, and pops it just through in the end. A goal to West Coast. Made the umpire work for it. But in the end, it's 2-2-14. West Coast leading Peel Thunder yet to score. We're 7 minutes gone rather, in the first term at David Gray's Arena.
Tremendous finish there from Jake Waterman. Slippery ball out there.
Here's the replay. And like you said, just in the pack of 3 Eagles, and Jake comes off the ground after kicking that goal.
Played the 21 games in his 2 seasons thus far for the West Coast Eagles. Showing plenty of form down here, just waiting for his opportunity.
It's not easy getting into that forward line at the moment, is it?
No, the tall timber is certainly a hard 2 to bump off, with big Josh Kennedy and Jack Darling firing at all cylinders. Umpire restarts play, back into the middle. Jones wins out. Mutimer off the deck, sends it to half forward. The foot races on. Carey in the end, alongside Nyhouse, who's back into the side for Peel after being omitted from the Fremantle lineup for tonight's derby. Tyson?
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting, the changes through the week as well with Aaron Sandlands. Obviously, Rory Lobb, great inclusions for the Dockers tonight as the boundary throw-in comes right in front of our commentary area and the coach's box, which is situated right next to us. Bailey Banfield, another one that's out of the side for the Dockers. Ballantyne with his first touch, and it's a shocker. He gets buried holding the ball. What a tackle that was by Josh Rotham. Strong tackle, and the veteran stood no chance there. So Rotham bangs it inside 50. Big pack of players going up for this one. Throwing himself out at Brooksby. Almost takes another big mark. It comes through the back. And a snap around the corner by Allen. But eventually it comes out to Banfield for Peel. And he kicks it out of bounds on the full. So another entry coming here for West Coast.
Look at the numbers around this footy, Tyson. Obviously a major tactic from Peel to flood numbers back. Going to make it very hard for West Coast to get some fluidity within their play. Francis Watson just kicks for distance in the forward 50. Williams in good position, as to 5 other players. Little handball there. Schultz is taken immediately. Footy up for grabs. A chance here. Joshy Smith. Right foot snap round the corner. Can't bring it back enough. And West Coast peppering at the moment in this first term. And they move ahead 15 points to nada.
Toby Watson bringing the ball back into play. Donnybrook Junior Footy Club product. Red-headed dandy, in fact. This guy is a pretty handy player in the back line for Peel, as the ball comes to Scott Jones with the hands on it, but it comes out to Carter for Peel. And good tackle again. West Coast really attacking the body hard, and we'll get a stoppage just outside 50.
Was a very clean pick-up there from Next Generation Academy Jason Carter, but not much room to operate, as we said. Plenty of numbers around this ball. The umpire's going to have to restart things again. From Wyndham Kimberley is Carter. Played in all 11 league games at the top level of Waffles so far. No room to operate there for Matty Allen. Ball up just inside West Coast forward 50. Keegan Brooksby will want to create some space. In the end, landed in the hands of Schultz. Blind handball. Merritt just has to thump it off the deck. Fisher, foot race. As to his Sturt, the boundary line beats the 2 of them.
So boundary throw in here. We're 10.5 minutes gone in this opening term. 2-3-15. West Coast Peel Thunder yet to score. Very impressive start by the Eagles as the ball's thrown in right in front of the old club rooms for the Peel Football League on the outer side. You can see here in Mandurah, which often hosts the Mandurah Mustangs Footy Club and the Peel Football League Grand Final, which tends to get massive crowds down here. 4,000 to 5,000 will fill this ground for PFL Grand Finals and Junior Football Grand Finals as well. As Scott Jones in the ruck brings the ball down against Bailey Williams, and he picks it up. He's tackled very strongly. In fact, he's going to be pinged holding the ball. So this tackling in the opening turn has been fantastic for the Eagles as Matt Allen gets rewarded for that strong tackle, and he's looking at going more direct here, straight inside the 50, and a chance for a pack of players, and a big mark almost taken there by Brooksby, another one, but it just spills out the last second, and we're going to see a stoppage here inside the 50, about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Nifty play there from Toby Watson, just able to get a hand in there, preventing big Keegan Brooksby from getting both mitts on it and claiming the mark. McInnes in the ruck, blind kick forward. In the end, it's Dixon takes a grab, thought it was 15. Keegan Brooksby well on top of it, buries him into the deck, and the umpire coming in to restart play yet again. Going to be plenty of stoppages today, I feel. Tyson Beattie, the way this game style is working. Jones searching for the boundary line with his tap. Mutimer, quick gift to Watson on his non-preferred left. Snap to the top of the goal square. Watson, McInnes is there. Umpire's found a free kick, but it's going the way of Peel of Thunder. And it's going to be Sturt playing on, kicking to the outer side. It's all Eagles, though. Oh, Brady Gray probably could have gobbled it up himself, but played the percentages. Sends it out of play and gives a little bit of Hawaii to Schultz as well.
Of course, Brady Gray, a former Docker, but a former Peel Thunder player as well. So no doubt he'll be wanting to have a very good game here as the ball is thrown in on that outer side. Bailey Williams against Jones. Jones gets the tap down and it goes forward, and a great mark taken at the back by Brody Riak over a very strong opponent in Blair Bell. Handball's on now to Rotham. Rotham goes forward, but that kick is ill-directed and the mark is taken by Duman. Duman plays on and quickly up the middle. This is the way Peel Thunder need to move the ball. Schultz through the centre of the ground, and the mark taken on the run as they go forward inside 50 now. Here's some space, but this ball might be ill-directed. No free kick offered there. A chance to clear from Ashman, who goes wide to the wing, and the mark is taken right in front of us here in the commentary position by number 34 is Dylan O'Reilly. That's the son of Stephen. As the ball goes long inside 50 and a behind for Peel. Their first score of the game, Stephen. It's come 13.5 minutes in.
Geez, I love the defensive work there from Mitchy Kerno. Out of position, able to just turn his body enough to avoid the free kick. Brought the goal ball to ground, and a win there from West Coast. Rotham finds Hamish Brayshaw with a little dab pass. He goes wide to Fisher, searching for the captain. Strong hands there from McInnes. Would you expect anything else?
His first touch of the game.
Handball inside. Brayshaw wants it. Just floats one down the line. In the end, I guess that's a win as far as West Coast is concerned. Just out of the outstretched hands of Ashman. And we'll have a throw-in high half forward for the Eagles.
Plenty of comments coming through on the Facebook page. We've actually got a viewer from Iceland. So if you think it's cold here, how are you going in Iceland? Hello to Tracy Rogers.
Umpire's going to piff the ball back in. Bit ill-directed, but Brooksby makes the best of a bad situation. Good pick up there from Watson. Feeds Ainsworth. Blind handball back inside, back to the debutante in Flint, and that is an excellent kick to touch. Just going to trickle over the boundary line inside West Coast forward 50.
Sure was. And another inside 50. We'll get some updates on some stats in a second here, but 14.5 minutes into the game. It's 2-3-15, just one single behind to Peel. So dominant start by the Eagles as this boundary throw-in comes pretty deep. Too deep for all players. In fact, it goes over the head, and a stoppage forms just on the edge of the 50 here. We'll likely have a throw-up, but it has cleared the rain. Still pretty windy out there, and the surface is not going to get any better throughout today. It's going to be pretty boggy. You can see all those bit of mud around that centre forward area. Keegan Brooksby with the tap, and then the spin move to Brady Gray, who slips over in those muddy conditions. They're trying to get it out of their Peel, but they're under enormous pressure from the West Coast forwards. Here's Bennell, can't pick it up cleanly, and it goes towards the boundary line. He's going for Schultz. Now Ainsworth Oh, absolutely buried. What a tackle by Blair Bell. Play on is the call. Thumped forward, but West Coast have the numbers here. It's Fisher with it. He's got to be clean. He is in front of Braden Lawler. Here's the old man, Drew Petrie. 8-metre kick to Josh Rotham, and he manages to get West Coast out of trouble. It's Mutimer with the ball now.
Look towards corridor, didn't see anything he likes. Wants to link up through hands. West Coast mucking around with it a bit. Kerno able to find Brayshaw, open 50. Low darting ball, tremendous work there from Peel. Able to stop the ball out the back, but Waterman's got a chance here. Oh, can't get boots a ball, and the desperation from Peel to rush that one over the line through Piggott. Just avoiding danger there. As we see Peel want to move it out quickly. Watson has it directly in front. Little deft touch give to Duman. Sends a long ball towards the wing. Asks a bit of Lawler. Bit of wrestle. The umpire does pay the free kick going the way of Rotham. And I love the way these West Coast Eagles defenders are holding up at this stage of the game. Petrie, Rotham react. Nothing much getting past them at the present time. As Josh Rotham kicks for distance, McInnes with a couple to beat. Has to butter up at ground level. Little toe poke, sees the ball trickle over the boundary line. As I see my man Tyson Beattie pouring through some stats over there.
Yeah, no, just having a look at it here at the moment, and it's fairly even the inside 50 count, but it's plagued by the fact that the Eagles have had a lot more pressure in their forward 50s. This boundary throw in, Bailey Williams tries to pick it up. Schultz, ball smothered. Another smother from Ainsworth's kick. Eventually Howlett is the first to it. Dives on it. Handball comes out. A chance here for the Eagles. They've got a couple of numbers around the ball. It's Riak. Got the ball from the Mutimer hand pass and now goes backwards towards Drew Petrie. Petrie getting plenty of it in the first quarter. Plays on now, and little chip to Francis Watson on the wing. Takes the mark. Out ahead of Manel. And looking for options. Can they open this forward 50 up?
You can see Peel playing the loose man back, can't bomb it.
Short kick is on, and it's not a good one. And there's going to be a pack forming here and a throw up. In fact, this is going to be holding the ball, so dragged in the end. Peel Thunder will get the free kick. It'll be Schultz, I think, with the ball. No, in fact, it's going to be Hayden Matthews with his first touch of the game, Stephen.
He switches play to the outer side, finds Nyhouse, wants to go back in board to the corridor, and Ben Howlett, who returns to the league lineup this week. Switching play yet again, finds Demand. No one on the mark, so he wants to get things moving. Bailey Banfield, he's had a ton of it in this first quarter, ducks back inside, wants to send a long left foot ball. It's all Eagles. Drew Petrie from behind, wallops it forward. Bit of volleyball there with Joshy Rotham. Well collected from Ainsworth, and Fisher just wants to get it out of there. Numbers through Peel, however, and Demand takes an easy uncontested grab. Short pass inside finds North. Very little room to operate, but able to spot up Banfield with a little dart pass. Wants to go outer side. Geez, it's a good kick. And just inside 50, drifting forward, is Matthews. Wants to move it quick. Umpire doesn't blow the whistle. I'm pretty sure he was off and running. Goes with a low darting pass. Foley plays the percentages with a double hand fist. And Brayshaw just wants to hack it forward. Again, Peel Thunder with the numbers. And they'll control things, only just. McInnes going to give chase. That's got to be a 3-metre kick. Umpire's fallen for it. And the mark taken from Trey Bennell.
So Bennell with the give off here to Toby Watson. Little possession here now for Peel. Ben Howlett with his 8th disposal coming up. He leads all. Duman has 7. And Hayden Matthews with a handball inside the 50 here. But the socket off the ground. Chance for the Eagles to come out of danger here. Matty Allen on his left foot. Kicks it long. Here's a foot race on the outer side. It's going to probably beat both these guys over the boundary line. No, it keeps going. Socket off the ground. And it's a very good one here by Rob Billiard. But comes back to Peel. Peel will have the chance to mop up, kicking themselves out of danger. And the mark looks like it will be taken and held by Sam Sturt on the out of the side.
Short ball in board. Finds the first-year Docker in Valente. Also couple of games in the reserves, back up to the league this week. Bailey Banfield, a couple of dummies to himself, wants to go out wide, and it's almost collected there from Big Piggott. Good defensive pressure from Drew Petrie, sees the ball out of play.
So just looking at these disposal count, Taylor Duman up to 10 now. Brayshaw with 7 for West Coast. Those are the leading disposal winners for both teams.
Williams and Scott will do battle. Scott just getting his paw to it. Well collected there from Howlett. Just bangs it forward inside the 50. It's going to be Lawler against Fisher. Ball in dispute. Collected there by Sturt. Puts his teammate well under the pump, and he's collected from Ainsworth. We'll have a ball up inside the forward 50.
Welcome to wherever you're watching around the world on Facebook and YouTube. You're watching the West Coast Eagles Waffle side take on Peel Thunder live. Stephen Bandy calling the game with myself, Tyson Beattie.
Francis Watson, here's the voice out back. It's Josh Rotham. He just bangs the ball high into the air. McInnes flies high, just can't collect it. In fact, the umpire's paid it. Tremendous effort, hoisting himself over a couple of opponents. He kicks towards the wing. Pack forms. Jeez, is that a mark? That's a wonderful second effort grab. Wants to play on. Oof. Was a risky proposition. Lawler allows Bennell to collect, but he's well claimed. Frantic footy in the middle of the ground here. McInnes collects, tries the don't argue. Works successfully. Ball smothered. Banfield collects. High ball. Inside the 50, Howlett used his body well. Falls for Merritt. Ballantyne fakes the give-off, should have handed it back in the end, and Fisher mops up for an easy delivery to Robilliard.
Robilliard plays on to Brayshaw. It's a lovely kick by Hamish up towards the half-forward flank, the mark taken by Jake Waterman. He plays on towards Brady Gray. He's one-on-one against Bennell, and Bennell does well here against the much stronger opponent. Should get some help now. Coming is Carter, but Carter can't correctly clean it, and Waterman goes back inside 50, but the mark taken by Duman, and Duman will settle things down for Peel Thunder.
Tough one there for the Eagles. They had numbers. They worked hard to get to the contest, but were unable to prevail. This is Lawler at half-back. Just wants to hold things up a little bit for the Thunder here. We've played 22 minutes in the opening term. React brings the ball to ground. Good defensive spoil, but Banfield collects. He's been busy early, Bailey Banfield. Rotham can't take it cleanly. Good tackle there from the veteran, Hayden Ballantyne. And in the end, we'll see a stoppage.
Probably got away with it, pushing the back a little bit there, Joshy.
Good eyesight up here, Tyson Beattie, to be calling those.
Well, it was against Hayden Ballantyne, so possibly not.
Loose footy, Rotham dives on top of it, just shovels it to the boundary line. Umpire saw every bit of it. It's going to be Hayden Ballantyne to be taking the kick. 169 game.
He's called to play on.
Veteran, he wants a low darting pass. Keegan Brooksby chops it off perfectly. In fact, it's Matty Allen. Saw every bit of that pass inside forward 50. Collected one in the chops. I think he's signalling to the umpire. He'll take note of that. He wants to just pump it long to the wing. Fremantle Ruckman searching back, but Jones can't take it cleanly. Carter just escapes the Josh Smith tackle. Oh, gee, a bit of candy there from the big fella, if you don't mind.
Not bad.
Low darting ball finds Ballantyne.
Ballantyne plays on and switches it wide. So a bit of run out here and a chance through Bennell. Trey Bennell drives it inside 50 towards Bell, and he can't quite hold on to this one. Well done by Fisher to effect the spoil there, but Bell manages to play on and get a kick inside the 50, and the mark is taken about 40 metres out. It's Ben Hancock. He plays on quickly now towards the goal line, and it's going to be fisted through for a behind. So just the second point of the game for Peel Thunder. 24 minutes in, Steve. 14 points of the margin to West Coast.
Good spoil there from Joshy Rotham, and excellent defensive work from Fisher. And you can see West Coast forcing Peel Thunder to go wide on that inside 50 entry. Clogging up the corridor very nicely. Got their structures in place thus far. Rotham trots out a fullback. Kicks up to the wing. Williams can't get a finger on this one, and Jones plucks one from behind. Umpire signals play on, big fella. Sends it to the pocket. Pack forms. Banfield from behind. Got a little piece of it. Brayshaw. Good hard footy. Wins out. Fisher just barrels it outside. Defensive 50. Collect there from Robilliard, and West Coast are away. They want to use the corridor. Smith obliges. Kick up. Here we go. Here's an opportunity. Nick Reed. It's just himself and the goals. No one to look forward to. Little check side on the run. Oh, he's just missed there. The North Beach products.
He slipped onto the field, Steve, just moments before that, actually, and didn't get picked up by Peel's defence. So that was lucky. They got away with one there, the Thunder. As they bring the ball back into play now. And Ballantyne trying to get up the ground and get some touches. He hasn't seen much of it so far today. that takes this mark, and the siren sounds. So that's it for the first quarter at David Gray's Arena. It is West Coast 2-5-17, Peel Thunder just 2 points, 15 points the margin at quarter time. So we'll take a short break and be back with the statistics and the second quarter after this.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
I'm constantly looking for new ways to improve and challenge myself. The earliest memories of playing football as a child with my dad, we just used to kick the footy in the backyard together. I do remember teachers often coming out and telling us that we shouldn't have been kicking a footy, that was for the boys to do. I always wanted to be an athlete and be involved in as many sports as possible. But it wasn't until high school that I started playing football and fell in love with the sport. Once I left high school, I went and joined the local women's team. In that league there, I was working really hard for a couple of years to give myself the opportunity to be selected into the state team. So after the second exhibition match I'd played for Melbourne, I found out a few months later that I was pregnant with my daughter Alice, and that was around about the same time that the AFL had announced that there was going to be the AFLW in the first ever women's competition. That was an interesting time because it put me in questioning as to what things are going to look like. All of a sudden, when you've got this amazing thing of being pregnant and then starting your family, and then another dream of playing football at the top level. I guess it didn't take long after they'd announced it that I knew I wanted to go back and play football and get back to that highest level. Around the 4-week mark after I had her, I started running again. And then at the 5-week mark, I went and played my first game back, possibly the worst game of football I'd ever played in my life. Everyone thought I was a bit crazy to get out there and play, but it was what I wanted to do. So early on, it was obviously difficult trying to fit everything in when you're looking after a baby and wanting to spend that quality time with her as much as possible. That made the scheduling of training that little bit more challenging as well. So I set up a gym at my house in the backyard, in my sweat shed as I call it. No matter what time it was, in the day or at night, that I needed to get my gym session done, I could just go out back, and if it was late at night, I remember some of the sessions being at 10, 11 o'clock at night because that was the only opportunity I had to actually get that gym session done. And then on draft day, I got picked up at number 130, which was quite late in the draft. Got more confidence as the season went on in season 1, and actually went on to win the Freo Fairest and Best in the first season, and made that All-Australian squad. It was difficult having to leave Alice at home when I was at training, and I think very quickly I learnt how to switch on and switch off from those scenarios and appreciate sort of where I am and the time and effort I'm putting in. So when I was at football, I was focused on football and really making the most out of that time when I was there, and then getting excited to come home to Alice and switch off from football really quickly because I'm so looking forward to seeing her when I get home. It's exciting to be signed at West Coast and be a part of their inaugural side. And there's a massive sense of excitement with the girls on the list that have signed, and the girls when we all met up. It was something pretty special. There was a good feeling in the group, and it just felt like a comfortable place, and that it was going to be something really special and really enjoyable for all of us. I'm just really looking forward to putting on the jumper and stepping out onto the field and creating a bit of history for West Coast and their first ever women's team.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with menu log.
Round 13 of the WAFL season 2018, and what a start for the West Coast Eagles. After one quarter, it's 2-5-17. West Coast leading, Peel Thunder just 2 behind. The goals, the 2 goals, which were for West Coast. One went to Jake Waterman, the other one went to Nick Reed. I'll just take you through some team stats, and Steve Bandy will take you through the individual ones. We've got a possession counts, which is actually favouring Peel Thunder, 87 total disposals to 83 of West Coast. The inside 50 count, however, though, 15 to the Eagles, 12 to Peel Thunder. Thumper. It was a very scrappy first quarter, given the conditions. Understandable, but good to see the Eagles on top.
It's a hard one. Obviously, viewers at home would see the bathing sunshine across David Gray's arena and think, why are they a little bit slippery with their disposal? But it was. It's raining quite heavily about 10 minutes prior to bounce down. As we look at the individual tallies for disposals in the first half, for the West Coast perspective, it's been a bit of an even spread across the midfield and defensive lines. Hamish Brayshaw leading the count with 7. We see Fisher and Rotham with 6 apiece, as to Rebillard, and then a host of 5 with Mutimer, Matty Allen, Josh Smith, been good on the wing, Nick Reed up forward, Ainsworth and Watson, 5 disposals each. Shift our attention to the Peel Thunder page, and the ball has certainly been living in their defensive half in that opening quarter. Demand with 12 disposals, Bailey Banfield working hard around the stoppages with 10, and Howlett rounding it out with 7 touches.
So just on the screen there, you can see a little bit of a setup as we get ready for the start of the second half. We're just waiting for everyone to clear off the field.
They're in no hurry, Tyson.
They are, and obviously if you're new to the WAFL,
you know you've got to be off the ground.
Well, the spectators are allowed to come onto the ground during the quarter time breaks, Stephen, and they're allowed to get up close to the huddle. And but they do have to get off the ground in a timely fashion, because we're about to start the second quarter, and you are going to get us underway, Stephen.
West Coast with the early ascendancy here at David Gray's arena. 15-point margin. Bailey Williams flying high in the ruck. Taps it down. Bailey Banfield lurking, but in the end, West Coast will scrubber tap out to the Mutimer direction. Carter tries to pick it up. Kurt Mutimer keeps his feet. It'll give to Josh Smith with a run on the outside, and the kick is precise, but a good spoil there from Watson. Brings it to the ground. Brooksby, little back feed to Josh Smith. Sends it to the pocket. McInnes trying to hem in Peel Thunder's back 50 exit. Umpire's blowing a whistle. Can't see what it's for. It's going the way of West Coast, though. And I believe Jake Waterman wants every bit of a shot at goal from the left forward pocket.
So we've got just some comments coming in as well about Jake Waterman, about how well he's played this season. What does he have to do to get into the side? Well, we said earlier, Steve, it's pretty tough getting in there with the personnel at the moment in the forward line of the main squad.
He's going to opt for the snap round the corner. Umpire signals play on. It's a high ball. Has he given it enough? No, it's going to drift across the face. Oh. In the end, a little bit of tunnel ball action. Big Scott Jones goes to deck and through for the early score of this second quarter.
So Brady Gray was just unlucky there. He couldn't hang on to this one as Demand plays on from the goal square and goes out to the far side. Big pack of players forming here. Banfield with hands on it, but couldn't take the mark. It comes to ground now, and a scrap for it. Matty Allen on his left foot scrubs it forward in front of King there. Carl Reed rather can't take the mark, and we'll have another stoppage with Lawler wrapped up. So a throw in here, about 40 metres out from West Coast goal.
I love that one. Brooksby wrapped his arms around 2 players, one his own teammate. That's how long his arms are. Matty Allen on the outside, left foot snap from the pocket. This would be a miraculous effort. Can't bring it back enough. And in the end, doesn't trouble the scorers. Peel Thunder with very little room to operate. Across the face finds Dixon. Little short options on in the pocket. He obliges. Finds O'Reilly. And that's shifting the zone a little bit. Peel Thunder are going to have to get past this impenetrable, almost a terrific one-hander taken there from North. In the end, can't do so. Having a bit of trouble bringing it out for the back line at the moment, Tyson.
Yeah, Dylan O'Reilly there just couldn't quite hit the target, but what a prospect he is. He was playing at Each Fremantle before he got drafted mid-season by the Dockers, and of course his father was a fantastic footballer, fullback for Geelong and also for Fremantle, as Braden Ainsworth gets this one out of the ruck contest. It doesn't go 15. Comes to ground now. Banfield tackled strongly by Matt Allen. He's certainly getting a lot of it and making a lot of tackles in this second quarter. The throw up will be about 55 metres from West Coast goal. They've had the lion's share of possession in this second term so far. Williams against Scott Jones. The ball comes to ground. Looks like another pack forming here. And Stephen, you remember that Scott Jones, the Eagles coaches would know him well as well, given that he was at East Perth during the alignment years.
I didn't think we'd be calling him today, Tyson. We had the talk of Aaron Sandilands returning and, of course, Sean Darcy and being managed this week. Also, Lloyd Meek sustaining a foot fracture. So, pleasure to see him out here operating. It's going to be a big challenge for youngster Bailey Williams as we see a free kick going the way of the debutant in Chaz Flint. Just an absolute host of players to kick to in the forward line. Just pops it on top of about 10 of them. And the big ruckman flies in the end. Brooksby able to collect. Great handball out to Smith. Mutimer got a pumping left foot kick. And what a snap there from Kurt Mutimer. Right place, right time. And West Coast strike first here in the second term.
Oh, beautiful. That was perfect because it was Mutimer's strong side and given a left footer, wrapping that ball around the corner. The hands came out beautifully by Josh Smith, and hopefully we'll see a replay of that goal, but it was a great one for West Coast. Their third, 3-6-24, Peel Thunder 2 points, 22 points the margin, and the clock hasn't started here on the scoreboard, but I think we're about 4 minutes into the first term.
Well, lots of credit there for Keegan Brooksby. He released the handball, heard the voice, and just tremendous positioning there from Kurt Mutimer, front and square. And as we know, as all West Coast fans would know, just a thumping left foot kick. No problems there, snapping at 35 out directly in front.
Yep, well called there, Stephen, as Brooksby now into the ruck against Jones. And he's presenting himself up forward really well, Keegan, and now taking the ruck duties.
14 AFL games from Keegan. How many has he won, Tyson?
Oh, maybe 4.
That'd be 1.
Okay. In some tough years at the Gold Coast, as Bailey Banfield with the clearance for Peel Thunder, going long, and then the mark is taken by Drew Petrie. What an asset to have in the back line, big Drew Petrie. And he's giving Blair Bell a bit of a bath so far today. That probably should be a free kick for pushing the back over the boundary. Where is it, umpire? It's not there, so it's a boundary throw in about 60 metres around from Peel's goal.
How can the big fella come back in at such great nick? Running half Ironmans with his wife, Nicole, sorry. So, geez, talk about keeping in good shape. Don't know how many ex-players are pumping them out on a regular basis as Mutimer has him handball trapped there from Ballantyne. An opportunity here from Bennell, and it's as straight as a die. Peel Thunder against the run of play. Put through their first goal of the afternoon.
Opportunistic goal and a good one there by Ryan Bennell, who dobbed that one from about 40 metres out, and on the run a good goal. So you can see that there on the replay. Thanks to Show Screens, broadcasting this game live from David Gray's Arena. The first goal of the game for Peel Thunder, 1-8. They trail West Coast 3-6-24. I did pass Cam Shepherd, Peel Thunder coach, at quarter time, and he was eager to get out there and address his charges when they only managed 2 points in that first quarter, but possibly a response now from the Thunder as the ball back in the middle for what should be a throw-up, but is going to be, yes, a throw-up. The conditions just too hard to bounce the ball at the moment as Brooksby takes on Jones, and it comes to ground. Brayshaw hacks it out of there on the run. Bennell with pace, but he might get a free kick here. In fact, he doesn't, and opportunistic for the Eagles as Brayshaw gets the ball to Smith, then backwards, and the man of the mark is taken at about right half forward. They should be able to enter the forward 50 now, Stephen.
It's Rebillard. He's going to wind up, put it in a dangerous area. Peel Thunder going back with the flight, had numbers. Matty Allen, opportunistic. His ball is smothered. A little bit of pressure on the Thunder to dispose of this cleanly or get it over the line, and West Coast have done well to force a ball up right against the behind post left forward pocket. Gee, these conditions are just so suited to Hamish Brayshaw. He's been well around the stoppage thus far, double-digit disposals at 10. Waterman playing a bit of volleyball with a couple of Peel Thunder opponents there, and again, we'll have another stoppage forward pocket.
Quick up. Oh, we've got just an injury possibly here. A hamstring popped there by Trey Bennell, the defender, and you could tell that he's in a bit of agony for sure.
Jones thumps it down. Not much room to operate there from Matty Allen. Does well under the circumstance. Feeds it to McInnes. Gives it back to Mutimer, but in the end, a Schultz tackle makes sure he's going nowhere. We'll have another ball up inside West Coast forward 50.
Just a quick update in the AFL, Stephen, if we've got a second here. We'll just wait for this ball to clear. That could be deliberate, though. Can you pay deliberate on a day like today? No, you don't. Okay. Just quickly, 5-point lead to Essendon over Sydney at the MCG. The Tigers all over Gold Coast, 56-13.
What's the stat you gave me in the AFL at quarter-time break, Tyson
I
Beattie?
can't believe this. The Sydney Swans / South Melbourne have not beaten Essendon at the MCG in 96 years.
That's remarkable, isn't it? We see a throw in, outer side, goes out the back. Well collected from Schultz. Merritt just snaps it forward. Front position, Lawler can't bring it in. Fisher, he's worried off it. In fact, that's Lawler there, putting in a high ball. Got to half forward quite quickly, according to my commentary. Riak, able to give it to Smith. West Coast just pushing it forward ever so slightly. Munimer's got a bit of space in front of him. Handball on the non-preferred. Brooksby can't handle it cleanly. Brayshaw able to collect, but runs out of real estate. Have a throw in on the outer side.
So we have noticed a couple of comments on Facebook. Tom Cole, Will Schofield and Brendan Archie not playing in this game. Yes, they are emergencies for the match tonight that starts at 6:10, Stephen.
Thought you were going to say they were commenting there for a minute. That would have been pretty handy.
I don't think social media will be tuning into you today. He's probably got some other things to do.
Sad to hear as the ball trickles out to Foley. Handball to Smith. They just keep it in play. Beautiful little fake there from Josh Smith. Sends it up forward. Watson can't collect cleanly. Peel Thunder under the pump here. A chance for West Coast. Ball inside 50. Reid calling for it. Can he collect? He's on the wrong side for a left footer. Has to duck back. Brady Gray feeds Reid. West Coast gives to Brayshaw. The kick around the corner. He's hooked it too far. A bit like my golf swing.
Oh, that's unlucky. It just seemed like there was so many chances happening there the whole time of that passage of play. But Brayshaw probably should have nailed that given where he was on the field and on his strong side as well. His favoured right foot as Jason Carter to bring the ball back into play for Peel Thunder. That's a booming right foot up to the half-back line for them as Jones picks the ball up, spins out of trouble, but smothered well there by Brodie Riak, and the coaches loved that bit of effort. But it comes to Peel Thunder now. It's Ryan Bennell, 2 bounces, streaming inside forward 50. Here's a chance for Blair Bell, gets on the end of it, but fumbles it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Unfortunate execution there from Peel Thunder. They had the man in Lawler going back to the goal square, but the kick a bit off target. Opportunity goes begging, and West Coast get out of jail on that occasion. As we see a throw in, right forward pocket for the Thunder. Going to see Brooksby up against Jones. No clear winner on that hit out. Rotham does brilliantly in traffic. Gives to Smith and a high clearing ball. Travels out of bounds on the full. A chance for the Thunder to reload.
Just taking you through some stats here. Taylor Duman, the leading possession winner for the Thunder, and everyone on the field at the moment with 14, getting a fair bit of it. Hamish Brayshaw with 11 for West Coast.
Little toe poke there from Foley. Doesn't come off on this occasion. Well sharked there from Matty Allen. Able to backfeed there to McInnes. Josh Smith's been very busy in the early goings of this second term. Williams finds himself with some space. Kick to half forward. This is Rebillard, little left foot, and an easy goal coming up here from West Coast. Beautiful work there from Nick Reid, getting on the end of it. And a coast-to-coast play from the Eagles. Kicks an easy goal from the square.
That's his second goal, and a fantastic passage of play. Peel Thunder having the opportunity, going back, Lawler fumbling that mark, and then from one end to the other, and you're not trying to plug your podcast coast to coast, Stephen, but that was how they transferred play in that particular passage. And the goal there to Nick Reid, his second, 4-7-31 West Coast, leading Peel Thunder 1-8. And they're all over them at the moment, the Eagles. It feels like a hard-working performance is going to get this done today. It's not easy. It's slippery. It might look sunny out there, but it's the conditions are very difficult. We've had a lot of rain in Perth, and particularly this Peel region over the last 3 or 4 days. And you can just tell that it's very, very heavy on foot as we start to get underway. A 23-point lead to West Coast.
Back into the centre. Brooksby flies high for the hit out. Brings it to ground. Scott butters up well, though. This is Valente. Good defensive pressure there from the Eagles. Affected the kick. Flint looking for the captain and McInnes on the right forward flank, but runs out of room. And with Peel Thunder down a rotation, it would seem, from Trey Bennell popping his hamstring early in this term, it's going to make it a bit of an uphill climb for Peel later in this game. They won't want this lead exploding out too far, Tyson.
Oh, it's cruel, isn't it? I mean, you've got Harley Bennell, who's done his calf, popped, you know, and he's out for pretty much the whole season now, and possibly his career at Fremantle. And then you've got the cousin who does the hamstring today, so not a lot of luck.
You'd change your name, wouldn't you, if you were Ryan Bennell?
And this is Fisher coming through the pack. Now Ainsworth on the edge of the 50, tackled hard. Opportunity here going forward inside 50. Bailey Williams, but in front of it, big destroy there and a chance for Peel to clear, although there's a pack forming here. A great bit of play there by the Peel Thunder player in Hayden Matthews. And now going back inside 50. Opportunity for a mark for Allen. Comes to ground, about 40 metres from goal. Peel Thunder should get out of trouble here through Schultz. Schultz goes long to a one-on-one battle, and Petrie brings the ball to ground. It's soccered towards the boundary line, a throw-in right in front of the change rooms there, next to the scoreboard, which reads 4-7, West Coast 31, Peel Thunder 128.
Gutsy stuff there from Joel Ashman, going with the flight of the ball back in defensive 50. Almost took in a spectacular mark of the day contender, but in the end, disrupting Peel Thunder's forward 50 advance was good enough at the time.
So the throw-in, Bailey Williams contesting this one, comes to ground, pack forms, and we'll have another throw-up. 14 and a half minutes gone in this one. Nick Reed with 2 goals, Waterman with a goal, Mutimer with a goal. Those are the 4 that make up West Coast's numbers, and the 1 goal for Peel Thunder was through Ryan Bennell. But it's been all West Coast, really. It's been a dominant performance so far. Still a long way to go. As Scott Jones with the tap down to Schultz, tackled hard by Brayshaw. And we'll have another throw up here in virtually the same position. Centre wing far side, Stephen.
Hamish Brayshaw, 22 disposals and 8 tackles last time these two sides met.
So Williams with the tap down and finally comes out. Brayshaw gets another one there forward, and it's a good one too. A one-handed throw on the boot, goes down, mark taken by Keegan Brooksby. Just forward of the centre wing position for big Keegan. Blast the ball inside 50 towards McInnes. Waiting at the back there is Riak, but it comes to ground. Duman gets his kick smothered. Handball out to Ainsworth inside 50 now. One-on-one duel. Reed, he's strong, gets it on his left foot. Can he score here? It just goes through for a behind. And now we're 4-9-33 to Peel Thunder 128.
Absolutely love the work of Josh Smith there, providing the smother and a quick give, allowing West Coast to go forward. In the end, Peel Thunder, through merit, a chance to clear, relieve a bit of pressure for the home side. Front position is Jones. Hancock, little give, looking for Bennell. Mops up again, Hancock, little dribbler down the line. Able to sit forward for Piggott, just sends a long ball. Watson providing defensive pressure. He's all over Bell. And that's a win for West Coast, sending it out of play for a throw-in. (32-8) in West Coast favour. We've played 16 minutes here in the second term. Very sunny skies, as we're very happy to report after a fair amount of rain coming about 15 minutes prior to bounce. Williams able to control this one. Oh, beautiful smother there from Howlett, preventing the Brayshaw clearance. Kick forward to the top of the goal square. Curnow up against Bell, and in the end, just outsized, outmuscled. Good take there from the Peel Thunder forward on a very difficult angle. It's going to be a tough attempt, but umpire wants to bring him around further on the mark here, and a chance for Thunder to kick their second goal of the quarter and the match. He's going to wheel around on the left boot. Umpire calls play on. He's bellied it a fair amount, drifting across the face. Will it stay in just in time? It will. Matthews ducks the tackle. Shot on goal. Right foot snap. He's butted up nicely. Not how you script it, but Peel Thunder will take it.
Wonderful call, Stephen, and that was a fantastic snap from that position. A gather and making space. Not a great shot on goal by Blair Bell, but what a finish by Matthews. And that gets Peel back into it now. Reduces the margin, 4-8-32 to 2-2-14. 18 points with 17.5 minutes gone in this second term. Blair Bell, of course, a dual premiership player at Peel, but hasn't done too much today until that moment.
No, third in the best and fairest in 28. Can play Blair Bell.
There's the replay, and thanks to show screens, that one just bending around the left goalpost. So we're back in the middle. And 18, just clicking over 18 minutes gone. So critical part of the game here, just before time on in the second term at David Gray's arena. We see Chaz Flint going for a run in the middle here, and Bailey Williams as well, contesting this ruck contest. Ball comes to ground, and big pack forming. We'll probably have another throw up right in the middle here. Ballantyne as well, getting a bit of a run in the middle. And he needs a few more touches in this second term, you feel. Has done a whole lot, as the ball will be thrown up once again right in the centre. That 18-point margin.
Of course, began his career as a Peel midfielder, winning the Sandover in 2008, as you recall, Tyson.
Yeah, and a mature age entry after that. Was obviously judged as being undersized, but turned into a All-Australian at AFL level.
Yep. Umpire's going to restart things in the centre circle. Throw a blanket over about 10 players here at the moment. Ballantyne leads in the race, can't take it. Good tackle applied there from Hancock. In the end, Mutimer nowhere to go.
Of course, it's always amazing when you've got a wing named after yourself at the ground you're still playing at.
A rarity, it must be said. High ball, Watson able to collect it. He's tackled by a couple of Peel Thunder opponents. In the end, it's stoppages galore here at David Gray's arena. Williams wins the hit out, but it's going to be Peel Thunder advancing from this stoppage. Carter under the pump. Watson wearing him like a glove. Tries to keep his feet. Little toe poke from Ballantyne is unsuccessful. Brayshaw. Oh, nifty little sidestep there from Gray. Two, if you don't mind. Here's the voice out wide, but Lawler chops this one off. Matthews on the advance for Peel Thunder. And easy pickings there. An easy grab there for Ryan Bennell, going to line up from 35 out directly in front.
Just tried to do too much there, Brady Gray. The first sidestep was great, but then took on another, and then the handball was nowhere. So that was how the turnover occurred. And now Bennell, who will be shooting for his second goal today. Pretty handy, pretty quick.
Well, it was good work there from Lawler, pushing up as a high half forward and not allowing West Coast with an easy back feed. Instrumental in this setup. As Ryan Bennell comes in, strikes it, not too great. Just drifting to the right-hand side.
He didn't quite get through the ball that time, as opposed to the first goal, which is a beauty on the run. Now Rotham to bring the ball back into play. Kicks it to the near side, our commentary side. Big Scott Jones up with a mark. That's an impressive grab. Big clunk in front of Waterman. So he'll send it back inside the 50 here. Actually, he'll go into the pocket towards Banfield. Not a great option in the end because it's cut off by Brodie Riak. And Riak reading the ball pretty well there. So a big clump of players on this wing area. Short pass up the line to Matt Allen.
The improvement shown from Brodie Riak this year been marvellous to watch, Tyson. It's been 7 years since he played football at any level.
Oof, look at that floater coming from Matt Allen, and Peel first to it. Scott Jones there, and then the handball coming to Toby Watson. Spills it to Howlett inside 50 now. Francis Watson, good pick up and should get a high tackle played for him. No, instead it's holding the ball.
Both umpires blindsided there, one at centre half forward and one in the pocket. Very unfortunate.
They didn't get that one right at all. As Bailey Banfield, now he gets a trip as well. Unbelievable.
Umpire wants to hold play as Roubiliard was clearly in some discomfort, rolling around on the mark there as the trainer sees to him, and the ball will come back for Bailey Banfield, and every single player on the ground in front of him at this point. Short pass to Dixon. Too far out to score as Waterman mans the mark. He's going to set it up at the top of the goal square. Look at the pack forming for this one. The high flyers. Rotham can't bring it in. Josh Smith crumbs with precision. Sends it out to Ashman. He's got Nyhouse to beat. Ball sits up perfectly for him. Bit slow on the release. Howlett there to collect. Little 1-2. Peel Thunder a chance to go inside 50. Short pass, and it's Sturt takes an uncontested mark, and this will test him. To strike it from about 45 out, slight angle.
Bennell's got some pace for sure, and great hands. They're starting to get a little bit more space, aren't they, out wide? And you can see that their delivery and their ball usage has definitely stepped up in this second term. So this is a real chance to get back in the game for Peel Thunder, unfortunately.
Sam Sturt, pick number 17 in the 2018 draft, almost chose the cricket route. I'm sure Fremantle are glad he was persuaded to pick up the Sharon instead. Gee, that's a monster left foot ball. Too bad it's not online. And Peel Thunder are peppering here late in the second term.
The wind is doing some funny things for sure at the moment. Just looking at those flags, it's sort of blowing across the ground. It's going in the direction of Peel, but it's also blowing into that pocket. And we've seen those last two shots on goal. They've been pushed out to the right-hand side as the ball brought back into play by Rotham. And it's up to, oh, great mark there by Allen. He'll get that paid. Matty Allen.
Had two to beat there.
On his half-back flank area. Looking to bring the ball up the field with 23 or almost 24 minutes gone in this second term. Peel Thunder working their way back into the game. Fraser McGuinness flies for this one in front of Dixon. It goes out of bounds, a boundary throw in. 16 points the margin, 4-8-32 to 2-4-16.
Some of the major ball winners, Hamish Brayshaw up to 14. Josh Smith, the leading disposal getter for the West Coast Eagles. He has 16. Using it quite well from the side up here. Jones holds his ground. Brooksby doubles back, lays a good tackle. The umpire will do it all over again. Wouldn't think it's going to be an extra long quarter here in the second. As you say, the wind doing funny things. That has changed direction in the last 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Going across ground now. Hard one to work out. Bit of a rugby scrum on the far wing at this point. The umpire needs to sort things out. Keegan Brooksby will take the ruck duties. The 29-year-old played all 11 games this year for West Coast. After some injury concerns last year, good to see his body is cherry ripe. It's going to be Peel Thunder through merit, however. Going back with the flight there, Rotham got a mid on it. Broke things up well. Ainsworth able to collect at ground level. Smith again active. Long kick down the line from Flint. One-on-one. Dixon v. McInnes. The big captain tried to butter up well, but in the end, Carter just looks for the outside kick to Merritt, but the boundary line wins out on the full. West Coast, a chance to advance. Can they pinch one late in the second term here? McInnes goes back, provides a contest. Brady Gray at ground level, wants to double back on the right. Screws a snap. Forward, Ainsworth almost takes it. Watson collects, Ainsworth back on it with the tackle, and a chance there for West Coast. 20 metres out, he almost brought it in there, Braden Ainsworth. Unable to do so, the West Coast winger, who managed 4 games in his debut season in 2018. Peel Thunder, that's just too easy there. Clearance from Dixon. West Coast through Brooksby. A standing intercept mark. Feeds to Watson. Short give. That is a precise delivery there from Francis Watson. And Ainsworth will get a chance for a reprieve, albeit will end up striking at about 45 metres out from goal.
Just looking at these tackle counts, far outnumbering Peel just at the moment, 48 to 37. And Hamish Brayshaw has 7 of them with his 14 disposals as the ball goes into the pocket marked by Jake Waterman. He's now looking to load up, Stephen.
Ainsworth deferring on this occasion. Wonder if distance was a factor, perhaps with this breeze kicking into the teeth of it.
He's thinking about this breeze for sure, isn't he? He just had a quick look at the flags.
He'll be kicking directly into it. Will Jake Waterman. West Coast leading goal kicker, strikes it. He's got the carry, but it's going to go across the face, and McInnes can't keep it in play. Through for a behind. 4-9 West Coast Eagles, 33, 17 points. The victor over Peel Thunder late in the second term.
And a shocking ball brought in by Peel. This will be a free kick to the Eagles and an opportunity to go on goal for Ashman in the pocket. Very tough with this wind to kick this one from here, but I think he's got no option. Pretty flooded back there on the left foot near side, and he is not even going to get a point out of that. So out of bounds on the full. Won't change that 17-point scoreline. 27.5 minutes gone now. And Peel Thunder looking to try and eat into that with just a minute or two probably left before siren time. This is Toby Watson in the back pocket. Plays on to Dooman. Dooman goes wider, so this switch is on. And the ball goes long up towards the wing position. Good spoil there by Watson. But the opportunity comes to Peel now. They've got a few numbers up here. Oh, Lawler had a really bad bounce and Flint picks it up for West Coast. Kicks it towards the wing and there's the siren. So at the end of the second term, at half-time, at this one from David Gray's Arena, it is West Coast 4-9-33, Peel Thunder 2-4-16. So that is a 17-point lead to the Eagles, thanks to Hungry Jacks.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
If you're not pushing yourself forward and trying new things, you're just going to go backwards. I was definitely born into a mad footy family. I grew up kicking the footy with my dad and my brother. In under 11s, I got told that I couldn't actually play with the boys for my local club. I actually wrote a letter to the footy club and I wrote a piece of paper and put it behind my bed, and every night I'd look at it and all I wanted to do was sort of play footy that year, and it took about 3 or 4 weeks to actually get enrolled or registered for the team. So I missed half the season, but I eventually got out there, and the year after that I actually just wasn't allowed to play with the boys at all, so I had to go and find another sport. I was giving basketball a real crack, and at the time I wasn't very fit, so I decided to go and do a pre-season with our local women's football team, thinking that would in turn help my basketball, and just sort of fell in love with the game and realised how much I love football, and that's a sport I wanted to play, so I gave basketball a click, even though there wasn't an opportunity to play AFL at a national level. Getting into the first under-18s state team for football was pretty special, but it wasn't really until the first exhibition game in 2013 and the exhibition games that followed that in those early years that I thought that there might actually be a national competition one day. And for the first AFLW season, I had the opportunity to head over to Sydney as a marquee player for the GWS Giants. I was extremely grateful for the opportunity, but at the same time it was extremely bittersweet leaving my family. I knew that if I took this opportunity with both hands, I could take my game to the next level, but also use it to grow as a person. I'd gone from playing community football at an oval that not all the time had women's change rooms. I instantly knew that I was going to thrive in such an elite environment. At that point, I knew I'd made the right decision to just try something new and being able to channel all my energy into being the best footballer I could. My first season of AFLW, I missed a few games through injury, but managed to put together an alright season and came out in the All-Australian squad at the end of the year. And in 2018, I struggled again with injuries. Coming into the 2019 season, I sort of just had one goal, is to just get through the whole season uninjured, and went out in round 1 and played a pretty good game, and I was up and about, pretty confident. 52 seconds into round 2, I slid into a goal post, and unfortunately that ended my year. Every day is an opportunity for me to come back from this injury stronger and fitter, and it's this whole rehab journey. It's just making me more determined to get back out there on the park and play for the Eagles in 2020. It's been such an exciting journey so far coming to the Eagles, and the new facilities that we'll be able to train in. I think they're the most elite resources that we can possibly have, so there's no excuses. And the girls that have come in, and we've already kind of created a bit of a bond, and we're getting to know each other, and it's just such an exciting time.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with menu log.
Good day for a fish, eh, Redo? Yeah, good day. Haven't been for a while. Nah, when was the last time you went? About 3 years ago. 3 years ago? What were you fishing for? Bit of an amateur, mate. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Just don't hook me up, can you? Jesus. How you going, mate? You been fishing much? Yeah, been trying to a little bit. We don't get out a couple of times on the weekend. Been getting a few jewfish, which has been good. Yeah. Just fishing off the beach today, so hopefully get a few tailor or a few herring or something like that. Do you chuck in some lures? Try in your free time, try to get out a bit?
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Especially weather like this always works out well.
The boys reckon you're a bit of a banana on the boat.
Bit of a banana on the
When
boat.
they-
No, there's a few other players who've been with that have been like that. You learn how to cast, haven't you? I reckon you've been fishing a long way. I've been fishing a long.
Oh, wow.
Biggest fish you caught?
Biggest fish? Used to go fishing on the Coorong in SA, mate.
Yeah. What'd you get?
Probably a snapper, about 50 centimetres. That's the biggest I've caught.
That's right. Top
Yeah.
size.
Decent size. What about you?
I caught a few sailfish, which have been pretty cool.
Yep.
That's probably like the heaviest fish I caught. A couple of barra. I haven't caught a metre barra yet, which is on the bucket list. Yeah, and then get some nice sized jewfish as well. Biggest tailor's probably about 55 centimetres.
Yeah.
So
WA good fishing?
WA is awesome fishing. So down south you can get everything. Salmon's always awesome for down there, and then you go up further north and go all your sports fish. So
nice.
you know, all your billfish, red emperor, coral trout. It's good fun.
Have you heard that fella on the fishing report?
No, which one's that one?
That LaCroix fella?
Yeah.
He sounds like a bit of an amateur, eh?
Did you get any tip from him?
Nah. I listen, but doesn't seem to work.
You just need some tips how to cast, I reckon, then you'll be all right. Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Rundown. Thanks to AGL for all your energy needs. Go to agl.com.au. The band is back together. Ryan Daniels from 7 News, he loves Derby Week, and Andrew Embley, Premiership player and Norm Smith medalist, join us. We're excited. It's the Ryan Turnbull tribute match. 50. Derby 50.
Derby 50.
Can you believe it?
Come a long way since
What a
1995.
build-up to it, hey?
Can I just ask you, we're going to talk about your Norm Smith medalist. We're going to get our Glendinning Allen medalist a little bit later, our prediction. Did you pull one off? Have you won a Glendinning Allen medal?
No, I just played well in the big games, so unfortunately for me, didn't get close to playing well in derbies.
Nice work by you. Hey, thanks to AGL for all your energy needs. Go to agl.com.au. And may I say straight off the top, Ryan Daniels, the parents contacted me during the week, Vovi and Papa Gossage, to tell me they have made the switch to AGL and are very happy. That is a fact. They have done a deal with AGL. So if you're out there and an Eagles fan, an Eagles member, you're watching this on Facebook or wherever you're watching on the socials, get to AGL and tell them the West Coast Eagles sent you, and I'm sure they'll look after you. Let's get our attention to last week. Just cast it back really quickly. Gutsy win.
Yeah, that's the word I was going to use, gutsy. And they played the conditions really well. We saw early in the year when it was pouring down at Optus Stadium against Port Adelaide, and West Coast tried to play their usual brand of footy. It did not work. I reckon they learned some lessons out of that game, and playing a few games in the wet this year has probably helped them in that Hawthorn game. They just tried to get it forward at any cost. They played the lineup that was the right lineup. They kept Jared Cameron in the team. They kept Rioli. They got Rioli back in the team. They had Ryan in the team. And that's what you need. You need runners. You need crummers. And it worked.
They found a way, didn't they? They weren't at their absolute best, and the conditions probably suited more Hawthorn than West Coast. But when push came to shove, in the last quarter, their big guns stood up. And Luke Shuey was outstanding. Darling's 5 goals were really good. And they just found a way to get the job done. And at this time of the year, when the competition is so easy, banking wins is crucial.
And ugly wins. Like, that's what the really good teams do. And you often see it in the year when a team has won a flag, and in the second year, it's the ugly games that decide how far they will go in September. This was an ugly win, but it's a win, and it's 4 points, and they're the ones they have to get.
So let's talk about the best player then from the game last week. Luke Shuey's last quarter was outstanding, and I went on Twitter and was pretty strong to say, I thought Adam Simpson laid down the challenge to the midfielders, boys. At three-quarter time, he said that they'd been beaten. Thoughts?
No, Luke Shuey was clearly the best player. I saw your reaction, and I know you got bombarded on Twitter for it, but Shuey was fantastic. I know the stakes weren't as high as the grand final. That's obvious. But his game was just as good on a stage that was important for that team to win that game. He had 39 disposals, 20 of them contested, 11 clearances, 11 inside 50s, 9 tackles. from an inside mid, which he became that day because of Nick Natanui, he was outstanding. And I was at that game, and the way that you could tell he was the best player, you looked up at the centre clearances after each goal, and you couldn't even see his number on his Guernsey. It was covered in mud, and almost every other midfielder was clean as a whistle on both teams. So he was doing the hard work, and he was getting them out of the middle. He won them that game.
He was big, massive, but you cannot underestimate in those conditions what Jack Darling did. 5 goals in the wet. For mine, Darling's performance, 5 goals in the wet. Like, you can find the football. And yes, Shuey found a lot of the football, and he was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, he was very good. His clearance work, in particular that last quarter. But Frawley was doing a really good job on JK.
He did.
And someone had to stand up and kick goals. And normally in those conditions, it's the small forwards that might get 2 or 3. It was a Wayne Carey-like performance from Jack Darling. 5 goals was massive in those conditions. He showed glimpses of the King, and the King was back. I thought he was big. And for mine, I thought Jack Darling was the most influential person on the ground.
Wayne Carey-like. Two or three of those goals were over the back in the goal square.
We love the ones over the back.
He never got those. Jack was fantastic. He was the best forward on the day, and the conditions were tough. But typically, that is Jack. He's a bit of a hybrid big, isn't he? He can play the ball really well when it hits the ground, and he's clever at getting the over-the-back ones. But he's not Wayne Carey.
5 goals in a game of 20 goals, and when Hawthorn didn't have a multiple goal kicker, Jack Darling was superb.
I cannot believe I'm outnumbered here. This is stunning. Can we go back and get some Luke Shuey highlights and run them over this entire segment and make sure that people understand how good he was?
Had to make up for a disappointing opening 3 quarters. Hey, Luke Shuey and Elliot Yeo as a combination. Now, Yeo didn't have his best game last week, but let's open it up there. Let's talk about the best midfield combos, the best 2-man combo in the competition. Where do they rate? Are they in your top 3? Embers?
I think at the moment, I think they are as good as any combination in the competition. I think Dangerfield and Kelly are pretty good, but what I like about Shuey and Yeo is they really accommodate each other really well. Shuey's work around the contest at the moment, his clearance work is outstanding, but what Yeo is doing, his pressure, so his ability to be able to lay tackles, put pressure on, nullify some of the bigger bodied midfielders of the opposition, and I think together they are working extremely well, and they're both in really, really good form.
Okay, so who have you got? Who's your top 3 combos if you've had
Okay, so Dangerfield Kelly, I think.
At 1?
I'd say at the moment, to be honest with you, I think Shuey and Yeo right now are probably the best combination in the competition.
Above
Kelly and Dangerfield at a close 2. And the third one, I'd say Canelio Kelly from GWS.
Yeah, my order is top 3 is the same, but it's all over the shop. So I've got Kelly and Canelio at number 1. I've got Kelly and Dangerfield at number 2. And then I've got Shuey and Yeo, with apologies to Fife Walters, and then Neil Zorko rounding out my top 5. But look, I can see what you're saying, Shuey and Yeo, and they've particularly this year become a bit of a yin and a yang. Like you've got the big body, the tackler, the hard inside guy, and Shuey, the finesse, who can also go inside and win a clearance. So it really is the best, probably 2-man midfield combo the Eagles have had in probably 10 to 15 years, really, when we look back at it.
At their very best, I agree with you. I think Yeo and Shuey, but I actually didn't have Dangerfield as that combo with Tim Kelly. I had Mitch Duncan with him, to be honest, because I think Kelly, there's a fair rotation going through there. I think the Crouch brothers do awesome stuff, but they don't score, they don't hit the scoreboard enough. And I do have Neil and Zorko right up there as
Probably
well.
the best combination, as you said, before Judd and Embley.
Yeah. Then Jed Fletcher and Andrew.
Sorry, keep going.
Parcels keeps wrapping himself up. Parcels, Embley. Can I just ask you now that Aaron Sandlands is back, hasn't played for a year. Nick Natanui's just got a taste. He's back, of course, and made an impact last week against the Hawks. Let's talk about Sandland's inclusion, and let's talk about, does it change the way West Coast go about their business, and in particular, Ryan, the way Nick Nat goes about his business?
Well, it has to. I mean, Aaron Sandlands is a dominant stoppage player. He knows where to hit the ball. Him and Nat Fife have had a great relationship over the years. It's almost as good as the Natanui-Shuey combination that we've seen. So it's going to be a fascinating contest because both guys are underdone. I mean, Sandlands hasn't played in more than a year, not even any waffle games. Nick Nat's had the waffle game, and then he's also played that game against Hawthorn. So you'd think he'd be slightly ahead in terms of being game ready. But I was at training the other day, at Docker's training, and Sandlands was doing everything that you'd expect him to do. He looked fantastic. He had the socks pulled right up. He knows that he's got maybe 6 or 7 weeks of footy left in him, and he's going to give it a red-hot crack. So it will change what West Coast have to do around those stoppages. They can't just assume they're going to get first hands on it every time, like they would have if it hadn't been him, it'd have been Sean Darcy.
Yeah, the dynamics change for sure. When Nick Nat is out there, 9 times out of 10, he's going to win most of the taps, and therefore you can get on the fly. You can start to actually be really proactive around the contest. But with Sandlands there, as you said, Sandlands is going to win his fair share. So West Coast are going to have to really watch what Pfeiffer's doing, watch what Michael Walters does around the contest to really nullify the influence that those guys have, in particular when I expect that Sandlands probably will win the majority of the taps.
Yeah, a question without notice here is the fact is if it's wet and they throw the ball up in the middle, does that change the set of bounces as well? I think that brings Sandlands into it because you know the bounce is going to go, the throw up's going to go straight up. Sandlands will cross the line and try and block the effort of Natanui. I think that's significant if it's a wet night.
It is, because Natanui thrives on unpredictability, particularly in the middle, because he can get to the weird ones.
Yes.
Whereas Aaron Sandlands, if it's going straight up in the air, he's such a gigantic man. It's going to be very, very hard to nullify that. So, yeah, I think that will have an impact.
Speaking of weird ones, let's go and try and recruit a Fremantle Docker to the West Coast Eagles. If you could cherry pick a Fremantle Docker to put in your team, Ryan, who would you pick?
Well, I mean, the obvious two that jump off the page are Fife and Walters. It would be easy to pick those two guys.
Too obvious.
I've decided to remove them from my equation and try to think a little bit deeper. The guy who there's been a lot of talk about this week about whether he wants to be at Fremantle next year or not, and someone I think that West Coast really could use on the opposite wing to Andrew Gaff is Bradley Hill. I like his run and carry. I think he plays Optus Stadium really, really well. He's got premiership experience and he fits their age mould. They're in a premiership mode right now, so I think Bradley Hill would be a fantastic addition to the West Coast Eagles. I'm not saying he's going to go there. That's not some sort of tip-off. It just says that if they were trying to pick up one Docker and it's not Fife or Walters, for me, it's Bradley Hill.
I just don't know why we wouldn't choose Fife or Walters. They are clearly the two best players in the team. West Coast are a huge premiership window open right now. Their chances of going back-to-back are as good as any West Coast team has had for a long time. I think they are setting themselves for it. So therefore, why wouldn't you get the best players in the competition into their team right now? So for mine, it's actually probably Michael Walters. I think he's in career best form. What I like about him, he's a goal kicker and he can come through the midfield. So you can push him forward. Imagine a forward line with Michael Walters, Liam Ryan and Willie Rioli. Oh, that is very exciting for mine.
I really wanted to pick Walters because I was going to say with Fife, out of almost every team in the comp, the Eagles need him least to it because Yo is almost Fife. He's so close to that spot. And I really would have liked to pick Walters.
Okay, we all think West Coast will win. We agree on that? Glendinning Allen medalist and why, Embers?
Well, I'm going to go for Ryan's mate Luke Shuey. He was massive last week. He's probably the best midfielder in the competition right now. He's in some really good form. His clearance work's outstanding. I think Fife and Yo will go head-to-head, and I think they might just nullify each other. And I think Luke Shuey, for mine, is the player that steps up and wins the medal again.
I tend to agree with that.
No, you blokes are so predictable and so safe. It is so boring.
Well, the safe option would have been to go Shannon Hearn because he's won 3 of the last 4.
Hang on, I better scrub that out then.
Well, I just think momentum matters, form matters. Luke Shuey is in blistering form. He's got Nick Nat hitting the ball down to him now. He's coming off his best game of the season. And he's never won a Ross Glendinning medal, which I was quite surprised about. Sorry, Glendinning Allen medal. And I think it'll be his this weekend.
Who?
His, Luke Shuey's.
You got both Luke Shuey?
Yes.
Brad Shepherd for mine. For the backman out there, I think Brad Shepherd will have a job and I think he'll do it. And if he plays on Walters or plays on a dangerous forward, I think Brad Shepherd will... depends on who votes for it. That's always interesting. I'll be interested to know who...
Are you getting a vote this weekend?
No, I voted once on it and didn't have the winner in my top 3. I'm staying right out of it. Hey, thanks for watching. It's good to be back. Thanks to AGL for all your energy needs. Well done, Ryan. Thanks to Embers. Have a great derby. It is, of course, Saturday night at Optus Stadium. This has been the rundown for agl.com.au.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with menu log.
Welcome back to David Gray's Arena in Mandurah for round 13 of the WAFL season 2018. It's the West Coast Waffle team, 4-9-33, leading Peel Thunder 2-4-16. A 17-point margin at half-time. I'll take you through the goal scorers and the major statistic leaders throughout the first half. The goals to West Coast, 2 of them to Nick Reid from North Beach, one of our top-up players for our Waffle team, having a fantastic day out there. Kurt Mutimer with a solo, Jake Waterman with 1 goal as well. For Peel Thunder, Ryan Bennell and Hayden Matthews have the only 2 goals of the game. The disposal counts, 169 disposal to 157 in favour of the Eagles. Leading all disposal winners, Josh Smith with 17. He also has 3 tackles and 4 inside 50s. Hamish Brayshaw with 14 disposals. He has 7 tackles and 3 inside 50s. And Matt Allen also getting plenty of it, 13 disposals with 6 tackles. For the Thunder, Taylor Duman with 16 disposals, 7 marks. Bailey Manfield has been getting plenty of it as well, 15 touches, 4 inside 50s. Jackson Merritt, the next one after that, with 11 touches. So a 17-point margin and plenty to play for in this second half. About to get underway. The Eagles on a roll a bit at the moment. Big win over South Fremantle. And it's the derby before the derby. The alignment with Fremantle for Peel Thunder and the West Coast Waffle standalone team. Steve Bandy's gone to the bathroom and just made it back in time to start the call for the third quarter, Stephen.
Fitness is poor, unlike the 2 in the middle. Jones, Williams do battle. Francis Watson piffed off the deck a bit too fast for him. Good don't argue there from Howlett. Sends the ball inside 50. Curnow from behind can't affect the spoil there, and Bell takes a good contested grab. He's going to strike it from outside 50. Few leading options are ignored. I think he's going to back himself in here.
Only 2 touches in the first half for Blair Bell, Stephen, and he's one of their real linchpins in the forward line. A strong player and a very good kick for goal.
Well, he's the 5th leading goal kicker in the WAFL so far in the 2019 season. See if he can add to his tally of 23 as he comes in, strikes it well. Ball coming back, but a little bit too far. You can see the breeze shifting that across the face. Difficult one to contend with, and the score opening from Peel Thunder is the behind early going in the third term.
So 16 points the margin now. Josh Rotham will play on and drive the ball to the halfback flank area for the Eagles, and a fist close to the boundary line, but it actually stays in. And Duman will track it down. They lose a bit of ground here, and he's fronted by Allen. Eventually it comes to Mutimer. Actually, it's Jake Waterman with it. Hands on now. Opportunity for Reid going inside 50. It's Brooksby on, and another chance. This might roll through for a goal. Just to the left-hand side. That would have been a 65-metre goal.
On the non-preferred too, if you don't mind.
And just 1 behind. So the margin back out to 17 points. We're almost 2 minutes gone in the third term.
Fair indication that West Coast are kicking with a slight breeze in this third term. Peel Thunder go bang down the middle. Good disposal, finds Banfield. He wants to move it quickly. This is North. Ball tracking wide. Merritt able to keep it in.
This isn't how the first half has been. This is completely open at the moment.
Oh, big collision there. A couple of West Coast Eagles go to ground. Peel Thunder mop up, go forward. Bennell take it just outside 50. Distance will test him from outside. Goes to the hot spots. Sam Sturt provides a contest, as too does Rebillard. West Coast arrive in numbers.
That's great work by Rebillard to bottle that up.
In the end, Mutimer forces a throw up. And gee, that collision, can we get a look at that? I wonder, was it big Drew Petrie going to ground?
Yeah, at 37, he's going to love that on Monday morning.
Ball up inside, Peel's attacking 50. Mutimer clearing kick. Lofts a sand wedge to middle of the ground, and the captain, Fraser McInnes, comes in from the side. Good chest mark. Ainsworth, couple of options to pick from. This is Nick Reid. He waltzes inside the 50. Peel Thunder press. An error there leaves Jake Waterman open at the top of the square. And West Coast Eagles kick and simple goal to open up the second half.
The coaches absolutely love that one. We can hear them next door banging on the desk. They definitely enjoyed that bit of transfer. And what about the vision from Braden Ainsworth just to chip that ball over the top? Waterman streaming down the field. There's that big collision on the replay, by the way. Both players are okay. But what a great goal that was. 23 points the margin now, 5-10-40 to 2-5-17. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. You're listening to Waffle Eagles live on Facebook and YouTube, our channels. We hope you're enjoying wherever you're watching around the world. Send us a hello. There's been plenty of comments coming through. Lots of people excited about tonight's derby as well, Stephen.
As they should be. Let's hope the conditions remain clear for all those attending and watching at home. Jake Waterman's second goal of the afternoon, by far the simplest of the two. Peel Thunder, soccer clearance out, but West Coast are able to mop up. React just keeps his footing, barrels it down the wing. 3 Peel Thunder flyers in the air. Oh, good defensive pressure though on Butter Up, and they're able to lock the ball up here on the broadcast wing. A little bit drier over half-time, Tyson Beattie. Hopefully a little bit swifter ball movement, a little bit less congestion, hopefully, in this third term.
Yeah, it's opening up a little bit as Howlett gets a boot, scrubs one forward. And an opportunity here for Bennell, who goes over the top there. Can't get the soccer off the ground. Picked up again by Howlett. Bailey Banfield trying to put some pressure on there as well. Lawler loses control of it. It's slapped down close to the 50-metre line. Here's React, tries to get a hand pass out, but it's Howlett to Bennell. His hands were too slick for Schultz, falling over as Fisher, but he manages to get up and compose himself and kick the ball towards the wing. That's not a bad effort. 3-on-1 here. That's a really nice job there. To spill the ball over the boundary line and force a boundary throw-in was Robilliard. He's shown some good signs today, Steve.
Well, he had a spoil against Scotty Jones, and if you have a look at the height mismatch, he's done extremely well to provide a 50-50 contest and a throw-in, an absolute victory.
The boundary throw-in, and Mutimer on the left foot, round the corner, comes to Dooman. He sends it back right in front of our commentary position here, and attacking the ball is Lawler, and he takes a good mark in difficult conditions here. Very slippery. Goes on down the line, and Fisher tries to take on the mark there, but it's played on quickly. Peel Thunder inside their forward 50. Ballantyne with a big tackle, forcing a throw up about 45 metres out from Peel's goal. The score 5-10-40 to 2-5-17, a 23-point margin.
Lawler did well to move the ball quickly from the wing. It was an open forward 50, but the kick from Sam Sturt, just a little bit more composure needed there, you would think. Ball at ground level. Josh Smith providing some defensive pressure. Foley just bangs it out of there, goes to the centre square. Waterman, good tackle, but they release. Carter, high ball, Riak in best position. Fisher coming across the face, and that's a quality mark with the flight of the play from Andrew Fisher. Hopefully can stabilise a bit here for the West Coast Eagles. Wants to kick for distance down the line. Brooksby from behind provides a contest and butters up well with a tackle. He locks it in. We'll have a ball up just in front of the commentary box at David Gray's Arena here. Round 13 action of the WAFL, proudly brought to you by Hungry Jacks.
What a find Fisher has been for the top-up team from Kingsley Football Club in the amateurs. As the ball goes forward here, it's Brooksby with it. The handball on. Players slipping over just at the edge of the 50-metre line. Carter with it for Peel Thunder. Manages to get his hands free, but an opportunity for the Eagles. Going forward now, Mutimer on his wrong side, but the mark taken one-handed by Brady Gray. Plays on and kicks the goal. And the Eagles kick ahead even further. A 29-point margin here in the third term. What a goal that was.
What a mark there from Brady Gray. Almost plucked it in one-handed. Brooksby had to go the sideways handball. There was nothing on offer inside forward 50.
There's the replay. And he just kept Toby Watson at bay. Left hand, a one-handed mark, and plays on and kicks a goal. He would love that against his old side.
He's an agitator, Brady Gray, the bloke you love to have on your side, and no doubt will be letting some of his ex-teammates know just how good that grab was at the top of the square.
So Gray's first goal of the game. He's certainly been lively at the start of this second term as well, or third term rather, and just looking at his stats as well, he's had 8 touches, 3 tackles, and now that goal. So 29 points the margin. This is the biggest break of the game for the Eagles.
Averages 6 tackles a game, does Brady Gray. Loves going in and under, and tremendous work pushing forward there and hurting Peel on the scoreboard. Ainsworth with composure going back through traffic. Finds Foley, a bit indecisive. In the end, Sets a task there for Brady Gray, and the boundary line a welcoming sight.
He was disappointed with that kick. He thought about switching to the outer side, but it was just too risky. He had to come back to the boundary this side and missed the target.
Starting to get a little bit more of it. Braden Ainsworth, up to 15 disposals here. Played 8 minutes in the third term. Jones, uncontested, takes it, but Brooksby makes sure he's going nowhere. The umpire will restart play yet again.
So there's throw up here. Jones and Brooksby. They sort of even that, but Brayshaw with the handball onto Rotham. Gets tackled, but manages to hold possession. Although now it's dragged back in by a Peel player. Pack forming here. This has got to be a throw up right on the edge of the square. Just forward of the centre position for Peel Thunder. As you see on the screen, Peel going from left to right. The Eagles going to the city end of the ground, or the northern end of the ground. And the city's a long way away. I'd say it's the northern end of the ground here, Stephen, in Mandurah. About an hour south of Perth CBD. The ball coming inside 50 for Peel. Oh, and a great little snap there by Sturt, but unable to get it much past where the mark taken there by Luke Foley, who goes up towards the half-back line, and Matthew Allen with a strong mark. Plays on. The pass to Josh Smith now. He goes wider to Francis Watson. So the game really opening up compared to what we saw in the first half. Frankie Watson, just a little chip down the line, needs to be delicate with it, and is. And Brayshaw again, this has to be one of his best games. Getting a ton of it, and a lot of tackling pressure as well in that first half. Another short one. This is good play here. Matthew Allen right in front of the scoreboard, you can see on the screen there. And Matty Allen covering a fair bit of ground as well. Do you know how many he's had soon? As the ball on the left foot up towards just inside the 50 here. And no whistle initially. That looked like it might have been a free kick, but play on is the call. A chance at the base of this pack, perhaps for Brooksby. And now it's Hugh Dixon around the corner. The Peel Thunder get out of danger. Almost a one-handed mark, but a whistle here. A free kick going Peel's way. Francis Watson holding on to Ryan Bennell.
I thought Bell was going to take that around the back there for a minute. That would have been something special, but in the end it's Bennell. With the free kick, Drew Petrie flies from behind, affects the contest nonetheless. West Coast a chance to butter up here in their defensive 50. Composed pass in board to Foley. He gives back to React, changes his mind, comes back to the far wing. Finds the steady hands of Josh Smith.
I think what we needed there was Flint just making an option closer rather than forcing the switch back.
Good spoil there, out of position. Fraser McInnes, no choice but to send this one over the boundary line. 29-point lead, the biggest thus far for the afternoon here at David Gray's Arena. West Coast searching for their 4th straight victory. Yep. And we're searching for our first win of the Hungry Jacks live stream, Tyson.
I should mention that next weekend will be a home game for the Waffle Eagles. The game...
Sorry, what?
Technically, yes, it is a home game. So the West, originally it was going to be at Joondalup. The Eagles playing West Perth, was on the Saturday. It's now moved to Sunday the 14th of July. And make sure you're there because it's free entry. Free entry for everyone next Sunday. And you might get to meet Stephen Bandy, who'll be at the ground calling the game as well as the boundary throw-in comes. And Peel Thunder going forward here. Possibly a push in the back for Bell, but play on is the call. Banfield was a very, very tough tackle.
Oh, good hard stuff from Watson there.
Watson's really picked it up in this third term, and he's tackled hard by Sturt. Will have a throw-up just on the edge of the 50-metre arc for Peel Thunder.
Certainly didn't shirk the contest, Francis Watson.
Ainsworth slung, and he might get pinged for holding the ball because he didn't. Once he got slung, he didn't release it. So a bit unlucky there for Bubba Ainsworth, as Hayden Ballantyne will get the free kick, and a little bit of remonstration with Howlett after. So Ballantyne actually thinks he's actually going to go for goal here. He's got to be kidding, doesn't he? No, he is going to chip. He's faked. He's tried to fool everyone, but he hasn't fooled Josh Rotham, who takes the mark in the full back line and then switches play quickly.
Timely intercept there from Rotham, finds Brayshaw. Equally as impressive contested mark from the Eagles midfielder. Little dab kick over the top, finds Mitch Curnow. Beautifully read there from Josh Rotham. Obviously the 2 AFL games in 2019. The debut in front of 60,000 at the G, no problem. Good fist forward again from McInnes. Doing well from a defensive standpoint. A little check side kick forward. is chopped off, however, on this occasion by O'Reilly from the Thunder.
So Brayshaw up to 17 disposals now.
Good darting pass on the outer side. Pinpoint finds Matthews, wants to go inboard, but it's read well from Ainsworth, chops it off. Wants to move it quickly, but more of an open forward line here. Good pass, finds the debutant in Flint. Little chip ball, and it's precise. Out on the lead is Nick Reed. And he will have a chance as his third goal in the afternoon, kicking from about 50 out, dead in front.
Can he make the journey from here?
I dare say the breeze will get him over the line. He's got a thumping left foot boot.
But it is fading to the right-hand side of the goalpost, so he's got to push it to the left-hand side to make it sail through.
I don't think we can get that message out just to him, so let's hope he knows that in his deliberate approach. Nick Reed from the North Beach Amateur Football Club. It's drifting right, but it's held its line. Tremendous build-up of play there from the West Coast Eagles. And they're kicking ahead here at David Gray's Arena.
So 35 points the margin now, and Nick Reed with his third goal. Here's the replay, and he did just that. He just pushed it a little bit to the left. It drifted a long way, but held inside the goalpost. And look at the celebration. What a fantastic moment there. Nick Reed, 3 goals, and proving to be quite a handy forward for the West Coast Eagles. Waffle, we now lead 7-10, 52 to 2-5, 17. A 35-point margin.
Well, that's 14 goals from 6 appearances. Unbelievable form, that is.
It's not bad, not bad. It's been very impressive by the football manager, Jordan Loxley, to find these guys. We talked about Fisher earlier from Kingsley. What a gem he's been.
I love that. Won the B-grade association medal last year and the C-grade medal before that. That is serious form in the Amos.
So it comes out of the middle here for Peel Thunder, but Francis Watson, who's really getting a lot of it in the third term, on the left foot, going long towards the half-forward line. Oh, a great contest made there by McInnes, who was able to spoil when there was 2 Peel players there ready to take the mark. Pressure on as well. And
he's given away the free kick.
High tackle, so a little bit overzealous there in the end. So a free kick coming here for Peel, and they go up the line finding Braden Lawler just forward of the wing position for the Eagles.
Lawler seems destined to just kick through a contest down the line. Brooksby in best position, ball out the back. Valente's going to have a run at it. If it sits, it does. Little chip to the pocket, over the head of Ballantyne, and it's easy pickings there from Josh Rotham. He sends the ball flying over the boundary line. The delivery inside forward 50 for Peel hasn't been ideal this afternoon. Let him down on a few occasions.
Ainsworth getting a ton of it in this third term. He's now up to 19 touches for the game, equal with Josh Smith.
Heavy congestion around this throw in. Brooksby has to reach for this hit out. Good pick up there from Peel Thunder, but he's claimed Brooksby doing marvellous work at ground level today. Been impressed. Would love to see his tackle count. I'm sure I'll get to that in due course. I've got him at 6. Tap to the line, Brayshaw sees it out. For a ruckman, you'll take 6 tackles a game every week.
Yeah, it's a fine effort. It's starting to warm up a little bit as well here, so maybe it has dried up a little bit, but certainly the game a lot more open in this third term as Brooksby and Jones get set to battle here inside Peel's forward line. The tap coming down to Gray, who's tackled immediately, and then the throw up. Brady Gray, delisted from Fremantle last year, and has been fantastic for the Eagles in the waffle so far this year. Keegan Brooksby out of the ruck, a handball sideways. Here's Flint. Left foot goes nowhere, and over the boundary line now for a throw-in just forward of the 50-metre arc for Peel Thunder. The score 7-10-52 to 2-5-17. A little bit inaccurate, but the conditions are a big part of that this afternoon. A 35-point lead. That's a fair amount at this point in the game, given these conditions, and only 2 goals scored by the Thunder. Hard to see themselves working their way back into this game at the moment as Gray takes this one out of the ruck, and then the mark taken by Jason Carter. He'll have a chance to send the ball back inside the 50.
Pumps it in forward. Goes through the hands of Drew Petrie. I think demanding a free kick at the umpire. Nothing doing, and the ball trickles over the goal line, trimming the lead to a 34-point margin. West Coast through Josh Rotham, who's had the majority of the kick-out duties this afternoon. Looking to go to the outer side. He strikes it long, uses the breeze to his advantage. Big fly from behind there. Terrific grab from Carey. Almost 3 deep. Had no problems plucking that one. Wants to move it quickly. Ashman wants to run onto this. Little tap forward. Matty Allen and Carter up ahead towards the 50. Tremendous follow-up there from Ashman. He's claimed. Can't hold it in. Rebillard and Watson do battle. In the end, Peel through numbers. Just pump it on the boot. Send us to the wing. Brayshaw and Curnow are able to combine. Little chip kick forward. It's precise to Matt Allen. He's got an open forward 50. Searches towards Waterman. The bounce obliging. He's tackled effectively. Just gets it out to Drew Petrie. He wobbles one on the left boot to the top of the goal square, but it's all Peel Thunder. Good grab back there from the ruckman and Scotty Jones.
So the ball come back into play and still maintaining a pretty strong lead here at the moment, the Eagles. Streaming live on Facebook. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast. Here's the replay of that mark, a beauty. So make sure you send us a comment on Facebook or let us know where you're at as well. We've had a viewer from Iceland, believe it or not, Mumbai in India, and lots of other places around Western Australia. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. It's the Derby before the Derby, I like to say, although Peel Thunder is a club in the waffle, but aligned to Fremantle. The ball, the throw up here just on the edge of the 50 for the Eagles going forward and out of bounds on the full. So the Eagles will get the free kick through Fisher. 36-point lead as Fisher drives the ball inside 50. Pack of players forming here, and Bailey Williams dropped a sitter there. Chest mark. Ainsworth spun out of control there, and Peel trying to get out of danger, but it's going to be a difficult one because it's all players everywhere inside the forward 50. And now a free kick pointed out. This could go West Coast way. In fact, it's a free kick, holding the man decision, and a shot on goal.
Seems to be Matthews who's remonstrating with the umpire. Didn't quite see it and that heavy congestion there. So we see the replay.
This looks like Rebillard.
Just hanging on to him a little bit there.
So Rebillard from just inside 50, and it goes across the face of goal for one behind. So we're up to a 34-point margin in favour of, 35-point margin in favour of the Eagles, Stephen.
We've played 20 minutes here in the third term at David Gray's Arena. Peel Thunder would have to start to think that time is certainly not on their side. A little risky kick in the corridor. The sure hands of Matthews gets them out of danger. They're living dangerously here, though, the Thunder. Carter says, enough of that, boys. Let's just pump it long. Riak in good position, provides the contest. Howlett, bit fumbly at ground level, goes to his knees. Not ideal from a Thunder perspective. Ball at ground level. Banfield spun in the tackle, but the size and strength wins out. He pumps it long, down the flank. It's all Eagles, though. Look at the numbers. Fisher, little dinky handball over the top. Brayshaw evades the tackle. He pumps it long to the flank. McInnes can't bring it in, and Watson happy to escort this one over the line.
We've actually got some viewers from the Camfield watching the game before the Derby tonight.
Don't mind that. They'll be coming in hot, you'd imagine, Tyson.
Here's the boundary throw on right on the 50-metre line, going towards the Eagles' end, and it's Jones against Williams, and the tap down to Howlett. Now the ball up towards the centre wing position. It's Lawler with a little delicate chip to Bennell.
Not much on for him.
Ryan Bennell. And, difficult to move the ball quickly here, but Carter has offered a run and juggles a mark in front of Brady Gray. So Carter called to play on now and goes to Duman. Taylor Duman.
Great zoning there from West Coast. Allowed nothing in the corridor. Peel Thunder forced to go sideways, a little lateral movement.
The coaches will be happy with that for sure, as Duman just pops this one up. And that's easily intercepted by Brody Riak. He's had a good game so far, Stephen.
He's been solid, as have all the defenders thus far in this contest. They've held up well.
So Riak will come back down the near side, our commentary side. Brooksby possibly pushed out of the way. Now thrown on the boot going forward, and nothing there, but a nice kick to touch anyway, away at least going forward a little bit for Peel Thunder. There'll be a boundary throw in just inside their 50-metre line. That was Ben Hancock with the kick there.
West Coast want to keep Peel at arm's length.
One more would be nice.
Heading into three-quarter time, Williams front position, little tap to Howlett, just has to hurry it on the boot, dangerous areas to full forward, and a tremendous grab going back with it is Bell. Not much Ria could have done on that occasion, bit of a chaos ball, and it was well read there from the Peel Thunder forward.
Well, there you see his strength, don't you? This is what we were talking about earlier. He's very strong through the hips, and that was a pretty good mark, just out-bodying Riak on that occasion, but not an easy conversion from this pocket.
5 metres out, but a bit of a tough angle with the breeze floating across the goal face. Don't Peel Thunder need this one. This is to bring it back to under 5 goals. Oh, and he's slammed it into the woodwork. I think the breeze playing a little bit of demons with him at that point.
Yeah, a bit unlucky. He started it just right, but hammered into that post. So Rotham bringing the ball back in now. One-on-one contest.
Oh, that's a big mark. Peel Thunder had the numbers. Matthews was just lurking for the football. No West Coast at the feet. And the big skipper obliged.
Yeah, Fraser with the strong mark there. And plays on to Foley. Now they're looking for a bit of a switch going back to Riak. Riak all the way to the other side of the pocket. Mark taken by Rotham. This is nice play here up to Fisher. Can they get some more overlap? Foley, but it's intercepted. Now a chance for the Thunder. Going for goal is Jackson Merritt, and he puts this one through on the run. And that is definitely against the flow, but Peel Thunder get one back before three-quarter time. They cut the margin to 29 points, 25 minutes gone in the third term.
Opportunistic goal there from the Thunder, but Foley, I thought he was going to be crunched into next week, going back with the flight for this little chip in board the corridor. Gutsy stuff to go back with it and keep the eyes on the ball, but really opened the door for the Thunder on that occasion.
Jackson Merritt fairly quiet so far. Handy pickup from Essendon, of course, but hasn't had a whole lot of it, but that was a nice finish. Intercept mark and goal.
56 games with the Bombers. Opted to come over here with good mate Benny Howlett.
And he had a pretty good career at Essendon as well, did Ben Howlett, former Donnybrook Junior Footy Club as well.
Absolutely, 124 games. Starting from the rookie list, it's West Coast here, out of the guts though. Josh Smith from the wing with the clearance. Sends it to the hot spot. Out the back is Carey. Good pressure provided there. Dixon's claimed by 2 Eagles. And tremendous work from the Eagles forwards, locking this one in.
So the throw up here deep in the pocket. Brooksby tries to scrub one. Real opportunity here. Throwing it on the right foot. Around the corner is Reid, and he's kicked his 4th. What a fantastic goal by Nick Reid. I tell you what, this guy is having a great game today. The former North Beach product. And he's got another one. The 4th goal of the day for him. 8-11-59 West Coast to Peel Thunder. 3-7-25. So they get that one back. The quick answer, 36-point margin, 26 minutes gone in the third term.
They say left-footers don't know how to use their opposite. Well, couldn't he be proving it all wrong on this occasion? Nick Reid, fantastic crumbing goal on his right foot. Just brought it back enough. I think the goal umpire was throwing a coin at the spot saying, oh, will I, won't I? In the end, just snuck in the goal post, and West Coast able to sneak that one back after Jackson Merritt's effort.
It was in a dangerous area, though. I mean, there was always going to be an opportunity there if they could just create some space. Braden Ainsworth with the handoff, and then the snap around the corner, non-preferred, good finish.
Umpire restarts play. Bally Williams, fantastic leap on him, but Valente sharks it. Josh Rotham just been marking everything on this half-back line at the moment for the West Coast Eagles. And he goes wide, finds Smith. Josh Rotham signing a contract extension in 2019 as well, shoring up some of West Coast Eagles' back stocks. As the ball goes down the wing, good tap there from Nick Reid, searching for Waterman, but in the end, Hancock for the Thunder sees it out.
He's had 3 intercept marks this quarter. He's had 5 for the game. He's been pretty good, Josh Rotham. 36 points to the margin. 27.5 minutes gone now as the ball thrown in. The 240s go at it. And it's scrubbed forward, and the mark taken by Rebillard. He goes forward inside 50, and the ball doesn't quite get there on the full. It's snapped around the corner, and the mark taken, and this will be a shot on goal, probably pretty late near siren time. Joel Ashman with the mark, and it was Jack Carey, which scrubbed one around the corner. And now Ashman will line up from about 30 metres out, but very, very tight angle, about 5 metres in from the boundary line.
Well, the last two inside 50 attacks have been from the clearing work of Josh Smith. Great work, and West Coast playing in front of their man on the last two occasions. And Ashman able to take a quality mark and sets himself up for a late score here for the Eagles.
This would be handy. 36 points the margin right now. The siren has sounded. This could make it 42. So on the left foot, he comes in, very deliberate approach. It looks pretty good, just across the face, one behind. So the end of the third quarter here at David Gray's Arena, it is West Coast 8-12-60, Peel Thunder 3-7-25. You're watching Waffle Football, thanks to Hungry Jack's.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with menu log.
All right, let's have some fun.
Okay, cameras are rolling. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go, go, go.
All right, here we go. Might just wind up my window here. Let's do this. All right. Oh no. Oh no, I can't see the cone. Ah.
Turn left to make it go right. Turn right to make it straighten it.
Follow the trailer, eh? Follow the trailer, I reckon. Ah, he does it. Oh no. Oh, what's this in? Get him! Get his cone! Go off the edge! This is a stitch up. This is an absolute stitch up.
Call it there.
Perfect. Like a glove. Absolute genius.
How do you work?
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah. Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
When I retire, I guess I want to be able to look back and say that I didn't leave anything in the tank. So I grew up in Melbourne, Victoria. Ever since I can remember, I always loved footy. Some of my earliest memories are trying to kick my ball over the power lines in the street when I was about 3 or 4, so couldn't reach, didn't reach for a couple of years. As soon as I started playing, I fell in love with the team environment and club environment. When I was approaching my middle teenage years, I figured out I probably needed to do a few extra things to help me along the way, and a lot of that was the way I started to watch what I ate, trained a little bit more, sometimes to my detriment. You know, I had a few injuries as a teenager, probably from overtraining, and so there's always that fear in the back of your mind, what if I don't get picked up and what if I'm not good enough? So draft day was nerve-wracking for myself, and being 18 and being told that in 3 days' time you got to jump on a plane and go across to Western Australia where I'd never been before. It was scary, but at the same time I was appreciative of the opportunity that I'd been given. I suppose my first goal was just play a game, and yeah, getting told I had OP was frustrating. As a 18-year-old, I'd been at the club for 2 months and just wanted to go hammer and tong with training, and yeah, got told that I'd have 3 or 4 months out. So that was frustrating, but yeah, about a week after I'd been told I had osteitis pubis, my sister passed away, and that was in the lead up to the first NAB Cup game, and with all the disappointment of missing out on that and being injured, yeah, it just gave me a reality check on that injuries probably aren't the worst thing in the world. I got over my OP and was in my second game back, I think, midway through the year, and fractured my leg, so that effectively ruled me out for the rest of the season. Again, I don't know whether I was being naive or what, but I kept thinking to myself, hopefully a 13, 14-year career, and this first year we can just start the slate clean next pre-season, and I was of the opinion that what I was missing out on as an 18-year-old, I'll get an extra year out of myself at the back end. Once I'd been ruled out for the rest of the 2009 season, round 1 2010 was my goal. I spoke to John Worsfold, my coach at the time. I said to him, look, I'm only 19, but I want to be in your round 1 team. What have I got to do, and where I need to get to as a player, and what I need to do over pre-season. And yeah, had a reasonably good summer. I stayed injury-free for the most part, and yeah, got through most of it, and was fortunate enough to debut round 1. Yeah, coming back got close to playing again, and then got glandular fever, so there was no real time frame on when I was going to be back, that was probably the toughest thing, not knowing when you could get back. And for me, it was get healthy as quick as I can, and then worry about training and getting ready to play again. 2011 was a turning point for me. I guess just getting my body right and being able to play every game was big for my confidence. Losing in 2015, I suppose you wonder whether you'll ever get the opportunity again. And then I think in 2017 we probably took a step back as a playing group. We probably didn't play the footy we needed to bat deep into finals, but it felt as though everything was in place, everything except the way we were playing. You think you can imagine what it's like to win one, but then when you actually do it, it's just a whole new level. For me, it was 10 years, so my 10 years of training and playing, everything was justified just by winning that one game. Becoming a dad has been, the best thing in my life, I suppose, and premiership's a close second, but I think there's no doubt it helps you as a footballer because we're in such a chaotic environment, and to go home at the end of the day and be around a little son or daughter who wouldn't even know what football is at the moment is kind of refreshing. Resilience is the most important trait any kid needs coming into the game these days, and even not in the AFL, but really any field of life, there's going to be adversity at some point. So I want to be around my teammates and coaches and training as often as I can, because I know when I retire one day I'll miss it, and being able to understand how lucky we actually are to live where we do, for me and for plenty of kids around the country who are going through any sort of obstacle. Yeah, I guess having...
Welcome back to David Gray's Arena. It's West Coast 8-12-60, Peel Thunder 3-7-25, a 35-point margin as we begin the fourth quarter here, and the ball moving quickly as well. Matthew Allen on the left foot to full forward, and almost one of the quickest goals you'll ever see. 13 seconds in, and it's one behind. I just want to take through the goal scorers just quickly while we've got this opportunity. 4 goals to Nick Reed. Jake Waterman has 2, 1 to Brady Gray, 1 to Kurt Mutimer, and singles for Peel Thunder, Hayden Matthews and Jackson Merritt in their lot. Steve Bandy.
Schultz at centre-half back wants to go the wide option for teammate Bailey Banfield. Ball just stays in bounds. Has Merritt as a runner, uses him. Little handball inboard, Ballantyne. Back feed to Ballantyne, to Banfield. Mutimer, brilliant closing tackle there. Bennell, nifty at ground level. A chance, the big fella, Pickett, snaps on the left boot. He's got it, very little celebration. No, he's picked it across the face, looking at reactions, and he gave it a little bit. I think even he was unsure.
Yeah, unlucky there. 34 points to the margin now in favour of the Eagles as we start this final term from David Gray's Arena.
Some statistics to start the final quarter. Major ball winners for the West Coast Eagles. Josh Smith with 22, Brayshaw 20, Ainsworth 18, Rotham and Mutimer 14 apiece.
So boundary throw in there, and we've got an interested onlooker here. We've spotted this one at three-quarter time. That is Rory O'Brien, Steve, who was a Sandover medalist in the Waffle, a real champion footballer from Peel Thunder as well. Got his kids out here, good to see, as Mutimer bursts out of the pack and snaps the ball over his shoulder. The mark taken by Fraser McGuinness. Plays on. Good left-handed handball there. Weaving through traffic here, Matthew Allen up towards the half-forward line. Toby Watson in front of Bailey Williams. He keeps the ball in play. Probably not the best idea in the end because Allen is charging at it. Now the tackle taken on hard. Rebillard met by North, and it'll be a throw-up just inside the boundary line, forward of the wing position, half-forward flank for the West Coast Eagles.
For Peel Thunder, major ball winners to this point. Demand very busy down back with 20. Howlett had 9 disposals in that third quarter. He's up to 19. And Bailey Banfield at 18. Flint overrunning the ball. Good strength there from Sturt. Finds Banfield. He just barrels the ball just inside the field of play. Pickett sees it out in the left forward flank for Peel Thunder.
21 touches for Banfield, but he was pretty quiet in that third term. He had a good first half. Went out of the game a little bit as it opened up a little bit more.
Boundary umpire will piff it in just outside forward 50 for the Thunder. Good work there from Ainsworth. Been busy on the non-preferred right boot. Fantastic kick into the path of Waterman. Not too many options in front of him. Has to try and hold up play to a degree. Sends it back inboard, and as you can see, it's all Peel Thunder and Nyhouse with a relieving defensive mark.
Didn't have a lot of options there, to be honest.
Short give finds Dixon on the broadcast side. They need to be a bit dangerous with their ball movement here, Thunder, to claw into this 35-point deficit. In the end, they're going to send it out to the outer side, and as he's done all day, Josh Rotham reading that with absolute perfection. Short little dab pass over the top finds Brady Gray. So we have to be feeling pretty sweet for the ex-Fremantle and Peel Thunder player right now. But still plenty of game left to go as Josh Smith takes it just outside 50.
So Smith will chip it just inside now, and the mark taken by Matt Allen. He's had a really good second half. Gotten plenty of it, covered the ground and tackled well as well. So this shot would be about 52, 53 metres by the time he comes in. This 35-point margin for the Eagles is the biggest of the game.
19 touches, 8 tackles, 6 marks and 6 inside 50. He's been very busy today, the truck, Matty Allen.
And he's been effective too. So he strikes it from 52 and he decides to set it up. Top of the goal square. Oh, read off hands by Brady Gray. What a fantastic finish. That is about as good front and centre as you will see. And another goal for the Eagles. It's now a 41-point margin, 4.5 minutes into the fourth term.
Credit there for Bailey Williams. Was out of position, had 2 Peel Thunder opponents in front of him. Just had to make a contest. Did so, and the ball spilling out to a very wide open Brady Gray, who finished the job.
2 goals now for Brady Gray, who's spent most of the time up forward today. Lodged in that forward 50, and that was beautifully read, and he enjoyed it, didn't he? I mean, the celebration was pretty nice as well. So this is definitely the biggest margin of the day now. 41 points, 9-13-67 to 3-8-26.
It's been impressive to watch thus far from this West Coast Eagles side. Let's hope it's a things to come as we enter Derby number 50 later this evening from Optus Stadium. Matty Allen deep into the thick of the action there. Just releases the handball, but it's chopped off from Schultz. He sends a ball to full forward from behind Curnow and Fisher. Trying to get it out of harm's way. Petrie slung, put to deck. Fisher just says, get it out of there, boys. Sends it high, but unguarded is Schultz, who takes an easy chest mark 40 metres out directly in front.
Just hacked away at that one. Probably had a bit more time to probably hit the boundary line a bit further wide, but back into the danger zone, and the mark taken by Schultz. I'm seeing the biggest run-up, or what? Look at how far back he's gone there. Almost to the centre square.
3 games in 2019 for Dennis Lilly, a.k.a. Lachlan Schultz. Missed last week's win against Swan Districts. Back into the side. Strikes it from just outside 50. Plenty of leg on that kick, but it's not on target.
So reduces the margin to 40 points now, as Rotham is set to bring the ball back into play. Early goings, 4th term of this one.
Gee, that's a good kick.
It's a great kick to Braden Ainsworth, who had a really good 3rd term. Goes short, and it's not 15. Play on is the call. Hamish Brayshaw finds the target, and here's Matt Allen again. Up and down the ground at the moment is the truck, looking to use his left foot to pump the ball down the line, right in front of our commentary box position here. Big spoil by Dixon sends the ball into the middle of the play, the middle of the field. Ball picked up by Smith. Heard the voice in Fraser McGuinness.
Good kick.
Then off to Foley. Foley scrubs one wide to Waterman's space though. He's got Fisher running, and Fisher has got some pace and some ability to go inside 50 here, and the mark taken by Nick Reed. He's kicked 4. Could he make it 5 from way downtown here? About 50, 52, 53 metres when he strikes it. No, he sets it up to the top of the square, and it's intercepted. And the mark taken in defence there. Or play on is the call. Duman to Carter. Played on quickly. Now they're out of danger momentarily. Lawler gets tackled hard. That's almost throwing. And it comes out of there, and Peel Thunder will move down the field now through Ballantyne. Ballantyne slips out of trouble. Goes inside. Bit of space and bit of run here. Valente Now inside 50, and there's a man way out the back here. It's Bennell. If he can gather it quickly, he should be able to score. Tries to keep it inside the field of play. No behind, but eventually it is signalled at 1 point. It did go over the line, and the margin back to 38 points now.
Thought he worked that to perfection to keep that in, Bennell, but just going over the line, says the boundary umpire. And West Coast escaped the danger. This is Mitch Curnow. Overshoots the kick. Fisher there to mop up, but he gives it up. A chance for the Thunder now. Piggott hacks it forward, goes into the pocket, but it's all Francis Watson. He takes a simple mark. Good to see Francis Watson back into the side after missing 5 weeks with his AC joint injury. Provides so much excitement off that half-back line. He'll be pivotal in West Coast run home in this 2019 season. Pack forms. Fraser McInnes has taken a slips catch just before it hits the deck. Good stuff there from the captain. Wants to move it quickly, finds Brayshaw. Little give to Fisher, finds Smith, pushed on the kick. Reed able to trap it. Bit of an open forward 50. Little dinky pass. Oh, gee, Brady Gray dealt with.
Wow.
Tried to apply the tackle, but Carter went boots and gave him every bit of that one.
Oh, I would have thought Brady Gray would have been able to have the opposite effect on that collision.
Contact below the legs. That's stiff against Spennell there.
He's still down, and they're calling the medicos.
See the replay there.
Watch this. Wow, unbelievable.
Flint moves it forward. Reed goes to ground. Umpire says play it on if you don't mind. Bailey Williams at ground level. Bit of basketball through his legs. Just releases the handball. And Peel Thunder able to lock it inside forward 50. Wouldn't mind having another look at it. I thought he was going to do that amount of damage, to be honest.
Brady Gray is a tough guy. Look at that. Oh, that's head-to-head contact. That is head-to-head contact, front on, and I reckon he must be bleeding there. He's got the. They're trying to hold the side of his head. In fact, they have called for the blood rule now, so stoppage in place, Stephen, and we'll just wait for Brady, who's running off the ground. So he's probably not too bad, but wow, that was a hell of a collision.
Yeah, it's coming from just below the eye and the blood dripping into the mouth, so hasn't worried his vision at all, but there is quite a bit of blood there upon reflection.
8 disposals, 2 goals for Brady Gray today against his old side. So Ainsworth will come on for him. He just whacked him as he went past. To Watson to get things underway again.
Not much room to operate in here there, Tyson Beattie.
No, it's pretty congested, although you've got Brooksby on the phone. Can't probably get it that far. He's gone for McGuinness instead, and it spills over the boundary line for a throw-in about 25 metres around. One of the game has begun, South Randall Claremont. Early goal for the Tigers in that one. The other games happening today. As I'll let you call this boundary throw in here, Stephen.
It's going to be Williams v Scott. Ball hits the deck. Howlett tries to charge through. Flint's kick is unaffected. Ashman's claimed by Schultz, and he's going nowhere in a hurry.
So they're all just about to start. Subiaco East Fremantle at Leederville Oval. West Perth versus Perth. Upper Joondalup. Swan Districts versus East Perth at Steel Blue. And as I mentioned, Claremont and Souths are underway as well.
Riak and Lawler do battle. Banfield just hacks it forward. Couple of Eagles are going to win in this foot race. It's going to be Curnow and big Drew Petrie lumbering after this one. Collects, goes back inside. Wants to go back across defensive goal face, and plenty of time for big Fraser McInnes. Never thought I'd see Petrie to McInnes in the back 50, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Short pass finds Fisher, and a chance to compose themselves here, the West Coast Eagles. Little chip inside, back to McInnes, and they're going to go back across the face of goal. They should be in no hurry to move this football forward with the current scoreline. Josh Smith got better as the game's gone on. Snap kick is precise, finds Curnow. Goes for a bit of a run. Nice little candy sell. Nick Reed's worked up the ground. Not interested in adding a 5th goal at this point. Umpire says time to go, Nick. He dabs it down the line. Good spoil there in the end from Schultz, preventing the Flint mark. will have a throw in, a left forward flank for the West Coast Eagles.
Just want to say hello to Tres Martinez watching from Texas. And we've got one from America now. Steve?
That gets you excited, doesn't it, TB? Your American heritage?
Oh, well, there's a few from around the world, actually, at the moment. We mentioned Iceland earlier, also India. Plenty up in the Pilbara, which is West Coast heartland, I have to say.
A lot of the fans at home won't realise your illustrious college punting careers. For which university was it?
So traded in a very average amateur football career for a college football career.
Ball at ground level. Brayshaw winning the hard footy as he's done the majority of the day. Playing in front is Carey, worried out of it. Williams dispossessed. At ground level, Reid does well. Snaps on the right boot. Big footy up for grabs here. In the end, Thunder with some numbers. Just haven't been clean out the back half for the majority of the day. Watson beautifully evades the tackle. Sends a high ball. Brooksby's going to have a run at it. Ashman dribbles a kick forward. Will it sit here for Nyhouse? Good pressure from Reid. He's bundled off it in the end. A free kick given, and Peel Thunder will take the advantage.
Jackson Merritt takes the ball out towards the half-back line. Big fly there from Schultz, but couldn't hang on to it. Riak to Smith. She gets a lot of it, but you don't often notice that he does. To Keegan Brooksby, takes the mark right in front of goal, 30 metres out.
Dixon just unable to get any kind of body on Keegan Brooksby with that high ball inside 50. Too easy for the big man.
So Josh Smith up to 28 disposals. You don't notice that he racks them up as much as he does, but he's had a fine game. And now Brooksby, and this is good reward for the big man, who has taken some good marks today and battled really well in the ruck against Scott Jones. So he comes in, relatively easy conversion here, and he makes no mistake. So West Coast pushed ahead even further now, and you'd have to say it'd be very difficult for Peel from here. 10-13-73 to Peel Thunder 3-10-28. Keegan Brooksby's first goal of the day.
I think the commentary team was under the microscope. Tyson Beattie, Fraser McInnes said to me, "You're not doing the stream by any chance this week?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Are you aware of your record?" I said, "No one's more aware of our record than us, Fraser." But in the end, debunking the myth that we were causing them to go off the rails in their performances.
Well, there is a different link here. I don't want to make too big of a deal about it, but we do...
Hello to Tim Gossage at home.
We do wish Tim Gossage all the best, who's been a little bit unwell lately, but he's on the mend, Goss. And back to work tonight, I believe. So 10-13-73 to 3-10-28, 15 minutes gone in the fourth term. And the ball comes out, opportunity going forward for Piggott of Peel Thunder. Mark Spilled. Now Flint, done a few good things, the debutant. Weaving through traffic on the outer side there is Braden Ainsworth, McGuinness, Rotham, switching play. This has been good. This ball movement in the second half has been really good. Petrie to Mutimer now. Space opening up. Curnow turns it over. Dangerous in the middle of the play, but somehow Brayshaw composes himself, goes forward. Mark Spilt, still an opportunity here for the Eagles. Ashman, tackled, probably high, but no call. And a throw up right on the edge of the square. A 45-point margin in favour of the Eagles.
Used his head like a bit of a battering ram there, young Ashman. Not much Hancock could have done, but to absorb the impact and have another stoppage. As we see Merritt, ball just spills out from him. Stacks on the mill. Another ball up in front of the commentary box. Right forward flank for the West Coast Eagles.
So just a reminder again, next week, Sunday the 14th of July, West Coast Eagles will be playing at Mineral Resources Park in Lathlane. A home game against West Perth, and it's free entry. Get down there and check it out. You also have the chance to see the new Eagles headquarters facility.
Brady Gray, great to see him back on the park, bandaged up, sends the kick inside 50. It's quickly sent back out to the wing, only as far as the debutante in Flint. Looked comfortable at this level, sends a kick forward, ill-directed. Nyhouse, simple chest on the chest mark.
I'm also told that there is a Hungry Jack store which will be opened at the ground for next week, thanks to our friends at Hungry Jack's. Dixon with the mark here in the back line to Merritt. tumbles punt forward towards Banfield. It's spoiled. Watson, good composure. Here's Brady Gray all taped up, looking like the mummy man. And Ainsworth. Now Curnow drives it inside 50. Sweeping across and taking a really nice mark is Piggott, I think it is, or is it Hugh Dixon? It's Hugh Dixon for Peel Thunder. Now comes to the near side, the commentary side. A spoil over the top. North picks it up to Curnow. Goes back inside 50 for the Eagles again. And Dixon is wrapped up by Bailey Williams. And that's got to be holding the ball. It is. And a free kick to Bailey Williams. Just outside 50.
Or see Nick Reed just scoping it there, saying, any chance, I'm on 4, help me out.
No, I think Bailey earned that one. He deserves this shot on goal. And it'll be a tough one, but be nice to have here. Just to boost that percentage a little bit. I'll take us through the fixtures coming in the next coming weeks. This will be 3 in a row for the Eagles. Just on the 50-metre line, just pushes it to the right-hand side. So now 10-14-74, plays 3-10-28.
Bailey Williams, the second leading goal kicker in this West Coast side for the 2019 season. He's played all 11 games thus far, or 12 in fact, including today for West Coast. So good signs for the youngster, getting plenty of experience under the belt. As we see Howlett collect on the outer side. Looking for a corridor option, but nothing giving. Wants to come back across the face. He's got O'Reilly on offer. They do have the man on the overlap. This is Duman. Now looks corridor. Kicks to a 2v1 in West Coast favour. Brooksby brings it to ground. Mutimer very clean at ground level. Overshoots the handball though. Merritt. Gee, a little bit sloppy stuff here from Peel Thunder. They've turned it over. Can West Coast pile on a little bit more hurt here? A little chip over the top from Flint. Finds Reed. Got a few options long.
Jakey Waterman screaming for it. He's got the mismatch against Howlett.
They got 2 defenders back though, Peel Thunder. They're well aware of Waterman's presence. Kicks in the Williams direction and uncontested, just shirked off of O'Reilly in the end, and a simple mark from Bailey Williams. A chance for him to kick his first goal of the afternoon.
Yep, missed the last one, so a chance from a much closer distance here. Tough angle, but only about 30 metres out.
Originally out of the Dandenong Stingrays. Bit of a basketballing background. You can see with his tremendous leap in those ruck contests.
One for the future for sure, Bailey Williams.
Very bright future, much like those boots there. As he'll come in about 15 metres out, but tough angle. Slight breeze drifting across, as you can see there. He's
that breeze has been going that way all day, and it's just pushing everything to that side of the ground. So it's now 10-15-75 to 3-10-28 as Peel gets set to bring it back in through Toby Watson. So once again, that game next week is a Sunday match against West Perth. Again, free entry. Make sure you get down there, check out the ground. Thanks to Mineral Resources, it's free entry. And of course, our friends Hungry Jacks will be open. They've got a store on the hill next to the entry on the gates.
That's danger for me, TB. Could be living there pre and post game.
I don't think it'd have much of a difference on your body, mates. You're pretty thin, and I think you're always going to stay that way. The bye follows that West Perth game, and then the Eagles play Subiaco on the Saturday. So with this win, still not possible to get into the 5. Percentage is a bit of an issue still. But that would be 3 on the row, and some handy form at this stage of the year.
Williams searching for Waterman, and the hit out collected by Jones. Jake Waterman, brilliant follow-up tackle. Slinging, in fact, he's paid. Unsure about that one, but not going to make an iota of difference in this quality result from the West Coast Eagles.
The other important factor is form from players that pushing up on spots, and it's great. It's great.
Been a very well-rounded performance from the 22 here today. Peel Thunder going forward. Francis Watson too strong there for Ryan Bennell. Easily removes him from the marking contest. And
Mark McCloskey liked that one next door, by the way.
Takes the grab. Little short pass to Riak. West Coast choose to share this. They want to go back behind play. Rotham. Drew Petrie getting a bit of bench time. I don't see him back there in the defensive 50. I'm sure he'll be relishing the rest opportunities.
Put the tracksuit on, Drew. Don't make yourself available. In fact, he's standing up. He is coming to come back on.
Undefeated since Big Drew Petrie's been in the side. Do you like that stat?
Well, he's the nicest guy in the world, isn't he?
Josh Smith just snap off a standing start just to make Ashman work. Nick Reed provides support, shirks the tackle beautifully. Bit of 1-2 with Matty Allen.
Good
Finds
hands.
Munimer running past. Could wind up, instead lowers the eyes. Little handball over the top, Roubiliard to Ashman. He's on the left foot. Can he slot this one on the running angle? He's pushed that across the face. West Coast a little inaccurate in this fourth term, but...
Oh, that would have been nice. You know, such a good bit of run by Ashman. To finish it off there with a goal would have been really good reward for him. Just unable to. So, yes, a bit inaccurate, and the wind is partly to blame for that and the conditions, but 10-16-76 to 3-10-28. Peel have just not had anything going forward. They've had enough inside 50s. I mean, they've had enough clearances in inside 50s for sure, but they just haven't been able to create any chances, and there's been some really good defensive work by the Eagles.
That'd be very impressive. Not only the one-on-one contest, but their structure, the ability to run back and provide support has been evident, even up here in the second tier.
Banfield kicks it forward for Peel Thunder. Oh, Frankie Watson, that was a bit of slick work, but loses control of it in the end. Now a chance for Banfield on his left foot. Goes to Dixon. Handballs on. An opportunity here maybe for Peel Thunder. Into the pocket, and the mark is taken. So, Piggott on a tight angle might be able to get their fourth goal.
That's just one thing they haven't done too well today, Peel Thunder, is hitting those targets inside forward 50. But on that occasion, a bit of class from Nyhouse. Expert delivery into the pocket. And Piggott should finish a good little play and build up for the Thunder.
Of course, they lost Trey Bennell earlier into the game with a hamstring injury. Piggott comes in, and that is a very strange kick. Big fly at the back there, but unable to hold it, and West Coast should be able to get out of trouble here. Ainsworth steps around a tackler, handballs off to Smith. Smith up towards the wing, and the mark taken on the run. No, spilled over the boundary line by Jake Waterman, right in front of the scoreboard.
Strange kick, probably the nicest way you could describe that one, TV.
I was trying to be nice about it.
Going to see a throw in. 3-10 today, Peel Thunder. They certainly haven't brought their kicking boots to David Gray's arena.
And there's the final siren. A very short final term. It's West Coast 10-16-76 to Peel Thunder 3-10-28. A good result for the Waffle Eagles. A 48-point victory at David Gray's arena in Mandurah. It snaps the two-game winning streak for the Thunder, and it's a great result overall for West Coast, who are on the edge of the 5 now in the Waffle season 2019. But more importantly, some great form as well from some of the Eagles listed players, and the top-up players were really, really good today.
Some of the individual stat getters for West Coast today, for those joining quite late, leading disposal winner on the ground, Josh Smith. He winds up with 30 disposals, 24 to Hamish Brayshaw, including 9 tackles. Very good in and under game from Hamish. Braden Ainsworth finishes with 24, as too does Matt Allen. Moving to Peel Thunder's side, a little bit leaner on theirs, of course. 24 to Demand, 24 to Banfield, and 21 to Howlett, also 20 to Jackson Merritt.
Let's check out the Hungry Jacks highlights here as you see Jake Waterman pop in an easy goal earlier in the game. Brady Gray, that was a highlight there with the one-handed mark, plays on, kicks the goal against his old side, celebrates there. He kicked 2. And this is Nick Reed here. What a game he had. 4 goals and really showed something up in the forward line for West Coast. A good celebration as well there. Big spoil there by Joshy Rotham. He had a fantastic third term. Really cleaned up with the intercept marks. There's a big mark by Fraser McGuinness at the half-back line earlier in the game. Peel Thunder, not too many highlights, but this is one of them. Jackson Merritt with a nice intercept and goal. It's only 3 goals for the game overall. Here's Reed's 4th goal, which came from a right-footed snap, very opportunistic. And that pretty much was the icing on the cake in that third term. Big collision in the last quarter there, Brady Gray. He was okay though. He got taped up and he went back out there. Keegan Brooksby finishing off with a goal. He spent some time forward. Scott Jones probably had his measure in the hit-outs throughout the day. Brady Gray with that second goal, beautiful front and centre. So a good win by the Eagles, and hopefully an entree of something to come in about 3 hours' time, Stephen. The 50th RAC Derby should be a belter, 8 straight in a row for the Eagles. So that should be very interesting. Hopefully a good omen.
Mouth-watering contest on the horizon. Top 2 spot up for grabs in tonight's game, Tyson Beattie. I don't think there'll be too many WA fans not having a gander at that one.
We hope everyone has enjoyed the contest. If you've joined us late, it's NAIDOC week this week, and we encourage you to take part in all the activities involved in NAIDOC week. And of course, next week, we will be at our home for the very first time as the home team, Mineral Resources Park, West Coast, taking on West Perth. It's free entry, so come on down, 2:15, Sunday, the 14th of July. Thanks to Mineral Resources, and thanks to our friends at Hungry Jacks. Great job by the crew, show screens, Ross Smith, Christian Goulopoulos and everyone else. Awesome job. We'll see you next time. You've been watching the Waffle Eagles.